Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to all those live stream viewers out there. We're now going on to live stream. Welcome to day 2 of the racing here at AMV's Velodrome, which includes some of the state championship events. We've concluded with some of our scratch races now. We're getting ready to start with our team sprints. So enjoy the viewing. We'll see how we go for the rest of the day. I might take some of those painkillers on, it's just softened. You should virtually knock me out, but they won't. See if they don't go out from the ground. Okay, getting ready now to start our team sprint. First team out there is Uni Cycling Club of Queensland, Glenn Searle, Paul Jackson and Chris Myatt. I don't want to put the kibosh on anything, but Glenn Searle, being the starter, has had a questionable couple of starts over the years. So, but it looks like we changed it around. So Jacko's on the start. Jacko, good 500 metre rider, good person to be on the start. And one thing you have to be careful of, though, if you have a very strong rider on the start, that the second wheel can't get on. So now we have them there. We have, yes, it is Chris Myatt, third wheel. Getting the countdown now, 15 seconds to go. Now, when they use the word team sprint, it is about a team event. You do have to talk to each other and know what's happening. Got to make sure you know what's happening as you go around. Okay, there we go. Very good start. So there we go. Glenn Searle's looks like his cog is slipping. Jacko's away and no one's talking. They're not letting him know. So Glenn Searle is out of the event. So Jacko, you might as well slow down, mate. There's only 2 of you. So if you want to ride for a time of 2, that's fine. You'll swing up and see that there's nothing happening. So Chris Myatt's going to, because he had no second wheel, he's doing a kilo. He's not doing it very hard though. He's decided to save his energy because he knows it's rather a futile attempt to do a sprint like that when he had no front riders in front of him. Doesn't look like Chris Myatt, but yeah, so I hope I didn't jinx Glenn there, but a couple of times, well, that was years ago in the outdoor velodrome, he broke the start a couple of times, back before the days we had starting gates. So the holder, if you wanted to start, sometimes the holder would just say, yeah, okay, let you go. And others would hold you back from getting an early start. Pardon? So the clock's still running, so it looks like they're not running the time on that at all. Or maybe they are, they just don't let us know what it is. We'll now get our second team ready to come out to start from Choice Homes. So Penny can let me know who Choice Homes is. We'll push them if we get anyone to sponsor anything out here. We like to help our sponsors out. So we've got Chris Lang from the Uni Club, and we have Glenn Catherall and Jans Coertz, both from the Gold Coast Cycling Clubs. I can't see his number either. 22, Glenn Catherall. Yeah. Yes, so it looks like Glenn Catherall is the starting rider for this next next team, sponsored by Choice Homes. So we've got Chris Lang in second wheel, and Jans Coates will be the final rider. I like the nice pretty colours there, pink and black, favourite colours. If I close one eye, I'll be right. Just waiting for the countdown to come now. 10 seconds to go and these riders will be on their way. Okay, there we go. Now this is a very good start here. Lynn just dropping out of the box, laying straight down onto the wheel. Yarn's back onto his wheel. They're all accelerating nice pace, no gaps. Is that what you want to see, is no gaps? That's the important thing out there in this, because as soon as a bit of a gap, one rider's working harder than he should be. That rider just swung up a little bit early, but he's handed over to Chris Lang. Chris Lang, then you see him put the pace on straight away. Yarns is right on the wheel. Doesn't look like he's working hard, actually. So we come around this time, they'll get the bell. There we go. Lang pulls up. Yarns Kurtz goes around there. So that's a 37.35 for the first 2 laps. We'll see what they can close down the time in. Yarns coming around now. You can see he's just starting to tire a little bit, but he'll come through and he will stop the clock at 53.467. So that's a time of 53.467. So at the moment, they're in the lead. But only one team has ridden. So that's that stands to reason, I suppose. So we have our next team ready to come up here at the moment. From Bundaberg Cycling Club, you have Robert McGrath, Ewan Holzberger and Connor McGrath. Now, not knowing the Bundy riders these days as well as I did, in an event like this, could ever be that Connor and Robert are father and son. But anyhow, see what happens. Because this is a Masters men's team sprint, which means they must have a combined total of in excess of 135 years in age. So you can have riders, one at 30 and one at 60 in there. That'll make up your 90. And another one at 60. That's it. You're there. That's Robert McGrath on the bottom. So Robert McGrath now in the starting block, ready to start this procedure. Ewan Holzberger, next rider up, and then Connor McGrath will be the third rider. Get the call now, 20 seconds to go. Okay, there we go. McGrath out of the block. Ewan pushing hard, trying to get on there to close that little gap up. Connor just rolls back down onto the wheel there at the back. Slowly building up speeds. A bit of a gap there. Bit of a gap back to Ewan. So McGrath opened up a bit of a gap. Ewan's closing it up now, and McGrath swings up. Ewan McGregor putting it now. Now he's got the pressure down on the pedals. It took him a little bit while to get on top of that gear. Connor McGrath sitting right on his wheel, taking the best advantage of the slipstream that he can get. They'll come around now. This time Ewan McGregor will turn up, and they'll stop the clock there at 39.479. So we'll see how we go in this last one. That's slightly slower than the last one. But the Connor McGrath coming down around there now is swinging up a little bit high there, and he'll stop the clock at 56.104. Yeah, so with a they already had a 2-second deficit at that at the 500, and they dropped another second there in the final 250. So now we'll get ready for our next team to come up. We have Balmoral Masters. We have Cameron Douglas Savage, Bo Hanlon, and Simon Wallace. And that doesn't look like Cameron at the start gate. Or is it? Oh, yeah, it is. It is. So Cameron Douglas Savage there getting his bike nice and ready. Bo Hanlon, now a firefighter. Don't forget, Bo does a lot of work to raise funds for Bike for Burns, Burns for Bikes, and Burns for Kids. Anyhow, what it basically is, it helps the families of children, burn victims, to come and visit and stay with their kids while they're down in the cities in the hospitals. So he does along with him and Quinn Kramer in Rockhampton, also has a lot to do with this. So Bo puts a lot of time and effort in that. I know I've given him some bikes over the years, and he does bikes up and sells them. Okay, there we go. A very good start. Oops, that didn't sound good. Didn't sound good at all. So not a very good start now. Savage just trying to start winding it up again. Bo Hanlon drops in on the wheel. They'll come around this time. Not too sure what the problem was there. I couldn't see it. So Bo digging in down the back there. Wallace just sitting on the wheel with the twin discs on. Let's see what they come around here, and we get the... give us a quick look at this to see what the time is there. Yeah, 40 seconds. That's not even on the same day. So very unfortunate there. Not too sure what happened with Cameron's start. But we'll get a time anyhow. And they come across Wallace. We'll stop the clock at 55.473. He picked it up. Yeah, considering they rode at 40 for the first two. That was a, if you get a chance to have a look at the splits, that was a pretty fast final lap by Simon Wallace there. Considering they rode a 1 second slower than the previous team at the at a 500, and ended up being a second faster, 0.5 of a second faster at the 750. So yeah, very good. Now our next team is another Balmoral team. Flynn Jensen, Oliver Jordan, Oscar Winchester. Hang on a minute, we've gone over to... Yeah, this thing's got all over the place. Okay, sorry, I have no event 5 in my program. I'll have to get another one. That's what, so this is one that's printed out, and that's the second time that's happened. Okay, this is the final of the Masters teams coming up that now. Oh, where is it? This is the Open Men Team Sprint qualifying now. Okay, we have Anthony Lane, Peter Macris, or Macrass, and Adam Clark. So we've got Macris in the starting blocks. Whoa, Adam Clark not getting out of the blocks real well at all there. Anthony Lane going up the top and waiting for him. Now I know speaking to Adam last week, he has been a bit unwell. So he's not at his best, but this is what happens when the front rider gets out and there's a big gap. So Clark can't close that down. Lane's not holding the wheel real well there. So when Clark swings up, Anthony Lane will have done 2 laps virtually at the front. So they'll come down, and let's just have a look at what time we have here. 36.785, not very good for a first lap there. So they'll come around now, and they'll stop the clock at 53.450. I don't. the next one?
Okay, the next one is the under-17 men's team. Ollie, event 6. You've got heat 6 event.
Oh, what's on the back of this one? Here we go.
Ah, there you go. Event 6. There you go.
Yeah.
You did have it. Yep.
Oh, what time did I write down there?
53450.
Oh, it's double-sided printing. Okay. Okay. Carrying on with our program, we're on the under-17 men's team sprint qualifying. Balmoral's the first team out.
These aren't under 17 kids. These are masters women.
Okay, I just have another look at our program now. Just looking down at the riders, and these are not under 17s. Mel Simon's down the bottom. Who's the top rider? Pardon? Okay, we've got the, don't know what's going on here, right? Haven't got this in the program anywhere, but let's have a look at it. So we've got Mel Simon starting on the bottom. Gabrielle Bell's the second rider, and Rowan Stevens, the top rider there. And away they go. Mel getting him off to a good start. Gabrielle Bell's dropping straight down onto the wheel. That's very good. Stevens will be on the wheel again by the time she hits the bend. Very good start, very controlled. I'll come around now. Mel's putting a bit of a gap on there to Gabrielle, but she'll swing up there. Gabrielle takes over now in the front, pedaling quite well at nice tight lines through the corners. Coming down now into the back straight, she has a bit of a look down and goes, oh, why did I sign up for this? It's starting to hurt. Anyhow, head's wobbling now. She's putting everything into it, and they come through there, and that's a 41.605. So we'll see if they can close that down, and should we come in under the 58 mark? So Roan coming around now, and there we goes, and she goes across and stops the clock at 58.107.
I'm looking at the red screen.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't see it from here, so if I look there, I can see it.
It looks like the Masters team another ride. Okay, it looks like the commissaires has ruled on a mechanical mishap and giving our first team that rode away another start. Not too sure what happened to Glenn's bike, but from what I could see, it looked like the cog was spinning on the hub. Makes it hard to go fast when that happens. You have good leg speed, but not very much top end. So Jacko's still in the starting block. Glenn Searle second wheel. Chris White up the top there. You look across the other side of the track there, there's a young girl wheeling a bike along with two discs, and you can hardly see her above the top of the bike. Anyhow, here we go, ready for a start now, and there we go. Better around this time. Jacko gets away well, but Glenn can't quite get on the wheel quick enough. Chris drops down. Now, this is what happens. Glenn should be calling Jacko back, because what's happening now is Glenn Searle is doing 2 laps at the front. He's not on the wheel. He's getting no draft, no assistance. Jacko will swing up. Glenn Searle will come through and take that over now. That's a 20.7 for the first lap. Let's see how they go here. See if they can run into a 33.34. Not going to make it. They're going to come around now, and they're going to do the change over there at 36.2. Let's see what Chris Myatt can do. He should be able to gain a little bit for them. I'm not too sure if it's enough to put him up in contentions with the other places, but he goes through and stops the clock at 51.317. So there, that's a good time. So that actually gives them the fastest time so far. So you will get Uni Queensland and Choice Homes will ride off for the gold and silver, and Bundaberg Cycling Club and Balmoral Masters. No, it'll be UQ and Balmoral Masters will ride off for the bronze medal.
The kids from Bundy wanted me to play that song. Just keep looking to see if
Oh, okay.
they're up.
What event are we up now? I've got no idea.
We're up to Heat 1, Event 6. This is the under 17s.
Heat 1.
Event 6. So we should.
Okay, we've got the under 17s out here now. I've got 4 names.
Okay. Top 3 are out there.
Oh, yeah.
I think Ollie's starting.
So Oliver Urry here on the start list, leading them out. Sorry, it's Henry Valaklis leading them out. So not a bad start for these young riders. They'll come around now when Valaklis will swing up, hand it over to Max Edwards. Come flying around now. Let's see what time they get for the 500. We stop for the clock at the 500 at 37.429. So Oliari is doing the final lap for this team. He'll come around now and let's have a quick look to see what time he stops the clock at, and he rides in a time of 54.973. Oh, that's a 2. 923, sorry. So that's 54.923. So they've set the standard so far. We'll see what the other teams can do. We're just waiting now for the second team to come out. Balmoral Team 2. Peter Richardson, Sebastian Urry, and Felix Henderson. So we'll see what these riders can do. Okay, just talk among yourselves there for a minute while I get a coffee, okay? Okay, thanks for that. I have my coffee. I can keep going. So it looks like Sebastian's starting this one out. Patrick, the next rider up, and Felix Henderson, the top rider. Here we go. There we go. Nice. Oh, he's pushing really hard on those gears. He's getting that wound up now. See how these little riders go. A lot of pedal strokes in a 250 metre circuit for these riders on the junior gearing. Okay, there he goes. Richardson out of the saddle, winding it up, make it a little bit harder. So that's a 23-second around through there. And Patrick out of the saddle again, gives it another burst down the back straight. Actually, he used more energy out of the saddle than in the saddle, but anyhow, he's not aware of that at the moment. He tries to hand it over now. Felix Henderson taking up the last lap. I didn't see what the split was. Sorry, missed the split on that one, but we'll see how they go for their overall time. Coming around now, and they'll stop the clock at 1:00.154. So we'll see who the next rider's here. I'm pretty sure we won't have Flynn Larkins because he wasn't riding last night. And haven't seen any of the Larkins out here. I see Brendan Bradshaw out there, so that means Harley will be riding. Archie Lutz is there. And it looks like Nathan Lee. So we're going to have Harley start this one. Then Ethan Lee will be second wheel. No, Archie Lutz is second wheel. And Ethan Lee, the younger of the riders, is last wheel. But like I said, he's got phenomenal leg speeds. Seen him ride a flying 211.95 a couple of weeks ago. So that's just a touch over 60 kilometres an hour for 200 metres. Here we go. Just get the call. 5 seconds to go, and Harley will be on his way. There we go. Look at that. That's the way that starts from these. Archie Lutz as well. All good takeoffs. And Ethan onto the wheel. Nice formation. Still out of the saddle. Harley will sit down around about now. Yep, there we go. Right on cue where you should be sitting down. They'll come around this time, so he'll have a good lead into the straight. Held it for a long time. Lutz now takes over. Good speed there. Ethan Lee sitting right on the wheel where he needs to be. And have a look at the leg speed on that guy. Coming around now, we'll see what their split is at the 500. And Ethan Lee takes over, and they have 37.511. So Team 1 was a little bit quicker than that, but let's see what Ethan Lee can bring it home in. He'll come now and stop the clock at 53.814. Okay, well, the two teams are pretty even at the 500. The first team and the third team, 37.429, 37.511, but Ethan Lee peeled a second off that, nearly a second off that in that final lap. So they come through with a team of 53, the time of 53.814. So that currently puts them in the lead as far as the timing goes. I know one of them is Rory Dixon. Okay, the next team out here will be representing the Gold Coast Cycling Club. Riley Dixon, Max Pocock and Matthew McCowan. We'll just see how they go out here onto the so it looks like Max Pocock is in the blocks to start. Okay, we've got the riders riding away now. Max Pocock leads them out. He's followed through there by Matthew McCowan. Riders rolling down the back. Pretty good formation. Just see how they go coming around here. Running a little bit high early. Pocock swings up, hands it over to McCowan. Where's McCowan? I can't see that. Riley Dixon sitting on the back there, just waiting for his chance to charge through. Let's see what they do here at the 500, and they'll stop the clock there at 42.501. So Dixon doing the final lap there now. He's doing quite well coming around there, quite comfortable that sort of a pace, and he'll go through and stop the clock at 58.396. So that'll put them in third place on the current timings. Okay, our next team up is represented by North Coast, basically, Fraser Coast and Fraser Coast Cycling Club. A couple of good riders come out there. Used to have one of them riding the team for me years ago. And young Ransom, a very strong rider out of there. Some two Bundy riders, Hunter Davis, whom I also had his father riding the team with me, and Cruz Camps. Okay, so Hunter Davis in the start blocks there. His father, Brad Davis, is a very strong rider in his day, both road and track. So we also got Cruz Kemps there, very big Kemps family from Bundaberg, Aaron and others, very strong up there, as is the Davis family. So there we go. Let's see what they can get a start like here. Looks like a pretty good sort of a start, pretty controlled, nice formation. Cruz Kemps tucked in, nice and tight down on the back there. They'll come around this time now when Hunter Davis pulls up to the top. Hands the reins over to Bryn McDonald. Still holding good speed down there. Let's see what their 500 times like. This could be a bit of a in for a bit of a show here with their timing. And they've got a time there of 36.519. So that gives them the fastest 500 so far, and Kemps is a good finisher, so we'll see what happens here. And they should come in and stop the clock within the, there we go, 52.078. That's 52.078. Fastest time so far. Now, where do we go from here? Oh, yeah, up here. Okay, we're getting ready for our next team up now. It's another Balmoral team, Flynn Jensen, Oliver Jordan and Oscar Winchester. You'll see if Oscar's out here to start. Funny enough, he didn't start in the last of his events last night. Did he? No, he didn't. Him was Tick, maybe. I think Flynn Jensen. Flynn Jensen starting? Yep. So we've got Flynn Jensen. I think it should be Oscar Winchester, but I know number 3 is 31. So Flynn Jensen in the starting gate now, waiting for the countdown. It gives him 30 seconds to go. Looks like Oscar Winchester, next rider up. and Oliver Jordan sitting up at the top of the track. Here we go. Oh yes, good start out of the blocks there by Jensen. The other riders lining up well. Oliver Jordan dropping in on the wheel there now as they go down to the back straight. Winchester still out of the saddle there for a bit. And they'll come around this time now and get the call of 2 to go. So Winchester takes over. Rolling around there, nice position. Jordan tucked in right on the wheel. And let's see what their split time is for their 500. It's 35.749. That puts them in there with a pretty good time. So let's see what time Jordan can finish this off in, and it's a 51.414. 51.414. So that will give them the fastest time so far. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, yeah, you're right, you're right. Okay, so that means that in the write-off we should be Balmoral Team 1 and Composite Queensland will ride for bronze, and Regional Express, which is the Bundy boys, North Coast boys, Bundaberg and Fraser Coast, will ride off against Balmoral Team 3 for the gold and silver. So now we have our under 17 women junior sprint team. Okay, looks like we have another team out there that's not in the program. And we've got a rider out there that thinks it's a good idea to wear his glasses on his helmet, where they could quite easily just fall down onto the track. So not real good at all. So Jacob Cork now taking over the role coming through, leading these riders out. So don't know where this team come from, but anyhow, they had a split of 37.892. Now we've got Harrison Darling, the final rider there for this team. Bring it home, and he will stop the clock at 53.968. No. Oh, yeah, they go to fourth. Okay, that puts that team into fourth position, so they shall ride off against the Composite Queensland Club team for the bronze medal. We should have a medal. We should have a tin medal for fourth place, so for getting out there and having a go. Be a nice gesture, I think. Okay, now we can go back to our program and carry on with what's in the program. Technically, in the old days, when we used to run them, the commentator always had a radio. That's the people on the show down there, so he knew what was going on. We used to run notes to them. So as to make sure that the commentator knew what was happening in the program. Because that's who's relaying all the information to the crowds.
So 76, Georgia Dowling's in 1, Hannah Walters is in 2, and if I've got my numbering right.
That's not Matilda, is it Matilda? Okay, looking down here now, we have the what they've called Hamilton Bundaberg. So you've got run Matilda Kemps from Bundaberg and two other riders, Georgia Dowling and Hannah Walters from the Hamilton Cycling Club. Just trying to see that number to see if it is. Okay, Georgia Dowling's riding off there. Matilda Kemps actually had to wait for her to go past so she could drop back down on the wheel. So not a lot of speed out of the blocks. Let's see if they improve as it goes along. So Dowling about to swing up now. Hand over to Kemps. And you have Hannah Walters running third wheel. We'll just have a quick peek at what their 500 times like as they come around. There we go. Kemps hands it over and it's a time of 43.191. Now let's see what the finishing time here is. Walters brings it home down around coming out of turn 4. Approaching the line now and stops the clock at 1:00.843. Okay, next up on the track we should have the team from the Gold Coast Cycling Club. There's 4 riders on the program, so we know that only 3 of them will ride, so we'll wait and see who those riders are. Wait a minute, that's a girl there. What all this is? 74 is Adele Dixon. She's there. Who's number 2? Winter Bradshaw is not there. Should have a camera up here somewhere so we can see the numbers.
Yeah, it's just if I had their numbers on the side.
If they had the numbers where they should be.
Okay, I think, is that 67 Billion down in second place?
Yeah.
So the other one has to be
So Adele Dixon sitting there calmly in the blocks, waiting for the countdown as they get the call of 10 to go. Hannah Giorgio just sitting up there slightly above her, waiting for it. Out of the saddle, and there we go. Pushing down on those pedals to get it wound up. Dixon leading the mount. She's got the gear going, put a little bit of a gap there, but quickly closed down by Hannah. And a little bit of a gap go out at the back. They're rocking over now. Hands over to Hannah Giorgio, who's got the long flowing locks rolling down the middle of her back. Morford seems to be quite comfortable there in third position. Let's see what they stop the clock at here for their 500. It is a 41.176. Very good time so far. Let's see if Morford can bring it home and really give them a good lead in this event. Okay, come in now and they will stop the clock at 1:00.133. Well, it looks like they lost a fair bit in that last lap. They were 2 seconds quicker at the 500, but yeah, only 0.7 of a second quicker at in the final lap. But that still puts them into first place at the moment. But we'll wait and see what this Balmoral team can do now. We've got Matty Douglas Savage Isla Tompkinson, and Elise Vaughan. Well, Maddie doesn't start. Looks like Isla Tompkinson starting there. Flag goes up, countdown starts. Yeah, Maddie is third rider. Okay, so we've got Isla Tompkinson in the start gates. Elise Vaughan second wheel. Maddie Douglas Savage sitting up the top of the track third wheel. She rode a very, very smart race last night in the scratch race. Almost perfect race, actually. Only went to the front once, and that's when it counted most. So she won the gold medal for the under-17 junior girls state championship. And here we go now. Nice controlled start. Maddie just looking down, waiting to see where she needs to drop in. So all the team drops in very nicely. Very good start by the young ladies. Isla Tompkinson leads them around now for her first lap. He swings up now and hands it over to Elise Vaughan. Out of the saddle, putting the power down. Douglas Savage sitting right on the wheel. She has the power for some quick acceleration, does Maddie. She'll close that gap, no worries. Sitting right there on the wheel. I'll come around now. Let's see what we get for the split on this team. 44-3-6-6. So let's see what Douglas Savage can do here in this last lap. Close that gap down. And she stops the clock at 1:01.104. So fastest time there, of course, goes to the Gold Coast Cycling Club with 1:00.133, and Hamilton Bundaberg 1:00.843, and then the Balmoral Cycling Club 1:01.104. So the that will put the ride off for gold and silver up there at pretty close at 1:00.7 of a second. See what happens anyhow. See what happens in their final leg, but we'll have that a little bit later on. Right now we're moving on to the under-19 men's team sprint qualifying, and the first team on the track will be Balmoral. Carl Bunzel, Rory Fisk, and Keita Smalley. I see it looks like Keita's the starter out there. Kale is second wheel, and Rory Fisk riding up the outside. Both Keita and Rory have attended the training sessions on Tuesday nights, which they like, but they programs and training programs these days put them around different things. They've got gym and all sorts of stuff to do. But to see Keita will get these boys off to a pretty good sort of a start. Countdown happening now, and there goes Keita driving out of the blocks. Carl Bunzel now dropping down the wheel. Fisk just watching there now, dropping into the wheel too. Keita's getting away. They've got to call him back. These riders have to learn to call the front rider back. Otherwise, you're just doing all the work yourself. No advantage whatsoever. So they might as well done it with two riders. With a gap like that. So we'll see how they go with their 500 metre time anyhow. And they'll do we didn't get one. So it was around about between 37 and 38 anyhow. We'll see what their 3 lap time is if we get one. 51,896.
What's the matter?
Sorry, they're the only under 19 team. Not elite men's.
Okay, so we only had the one team for under 19, so they will obviously get the gold medal. It didn't matter what time they rode, they could have just gone out and rolled around. Had a cup of coffee and a biscuit or something. Okay, now we'll move on to the elite men's. Do you want to have a look through the program and see where they've got the finals for those events? And then copy the teams up to it? Please, if you don't mind. We can do it on the big one if you want to. Which one's that? Yeah. Okay. Okay, out on the track now. We have the elite men. Just looking down there, and we have Ronan Munro, Sam Gallagher, Bryson Fletcher. I don't think that's quite the team that's there. We'll have a look. It's number 8 in the starting box, is it? Is that a number 8? Yeah. Okay, so we have Ronan Munro in the starting blocks there as they get the 10-second count. Yeah. Oh, very hard out of the blocks there now. Ronan Munro getting a very good start. Bryson Fletcher not quite getting onto the wheel quick enough. Now, once again, there's a big gap there. Gallagher's okay. He's got the wheel nice and early. But too big of a gap there between your first and second riders. And that's what happens. You end up with your second rider, if he can't get on the wheel quick enough, he ends up doing 2 laps at the front. They're coming around next now and see what time we get for our split. There we go. We have 33.674. Now we come around here and see what their closing time is. And it is a 47.274. So unfortunately, we only have the one team in that event as well. So they will get the gold medal. So the time is irrelevant, but I'm sure they still want to do it for their own benefit to see what they go like. And good practice. They might want to take a team away to nationals or something like that at some stage. We will now move on to event 10, the elite women teams qualifying, team sprint qualifying. We have 2 teams in this. So that means gold and silver, no matter which way you look at it. First team out is University of Queensland ladies. And we have Courtney McGowan, Sandra Stoy and Julie Barnett. Actually, we don't. We've got 3 males out there. It's Tipple, Savage, and Possum. What event are they riding? I don't know. Yeah. It's not in my program that I've got. Yeah. I know who it is down there. Yeah. Okay, an event now happening not in my program. Felix Crossman leading them out. Zachary Douglas Savage bringing up the rear there. I would assume these are going down in the elite men's. No communication from down the centre to let us know what's happening up here in the box. So there we go. Crossman hands over to Kevin Tipple. And Tipple puts a bit of a gap into Savage, but he closes that up quickly. All these riders riding on the tops of the bars now. There we go. Let's see what their split time is 37.198. So Savage bringing that round to finish this off. Then a 52.737. So quite a bit slower than the previous team, but still fast enough to get them a silver medal. Now, maybe now we're back on track on the program. Yeah, that's her there, yeah. There's Sandra. Courtney's taking her own bike up. Yes, no, maybe we're back now on the back on the program now. So we don't get any updates as to changes. We just have to guess what's happening as we go along. How times have changed. Okay, countdown started. Looks like Courtney McGowan in the blocks. Sandra Stoy second wheel and Julie Barnett up at the top of the track. Okay, there we go. They're on their journey now. Courtney getting a nice start out there. Sandra Stoy dropping down onto the wheel. Julie Barnett dropping down into third place. Okay, Courtney now sitting down. They'll come around this time. They stop the clock there now. It's 22-second first lap. So Sandra Stoy now taking over and winding it up. And Barnett still sitting there right on the wheel. Come around and let's see what time Sandra can stop the clock at. And there we go. It is stopped at 39.210. So Julie Barnett fast finishing down through the back straight there now. She'll come through and stop the clock at 55.726. Not bad. Those competing in the elite women's, and all those riders are eligible to ride masters, especially Julie. I think she's masters 6 or 7. So we'll get ready now for our next team to come out from the Balmoral Cycling Club. Isabella Potts, April Paddy, and Madison Taylor. Isabel Potts, yeah, April Paddy's starting. So we have April Paddy in the starting gate, ready to get this team started on its merry way. There we go, got the call of 30 to go. That's one dance? Okay, 5 to go. Here we are. April Paddy driving out of the blocks there now. Potts getting ready to drop down on her wheel. Maddie Taylor having a little bit of a gap there, but I think she should be able to close that up quite well. In case she gets much further back than that now, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. Madison will not be able to close that gap down, so she's going to do a kilo on her own. They're not talking, they're not singing out. You have to talk to the other riders in your team. That's why it's called a team event. You need to know what's happening. So that's a split there of 38.896. That is taken on the first rider of those two. So let's see what Matty brings it home in. 57.299. Now, when you consider that that team just then went through the split at 538, just under 39, the previous team went through in over 39, but in the last lap, the previous team finished off at 55.72, and this one at 57. So that big gap between your front rider and Madison is what makes the difference, because you've got your back rider then riding a kilo on their own. But anyhow, well done to all teams. Great to see them out there participating. We'll now move from that and I think get back to graded points race. So we'll see how that goes. There you go. You win it? What time is it? Is it? Is it time for something to eat? Yeah, I did have a late breakfast. I don't know. Got lollies? Pardon? No, I don't want lollies. Okay, riders coming up onto the track out there now. Getting ready for our next event, as I said, is a graded points race. A lot of riders here in the program. Don't know how many are on the track, but doesn't look as many out there as what there is here. Anyhow, but I'll have trouble calling this because, as I said, eyesight doesn't work well these days and I can't see those numbers. But anyhow, we'll all have a bit of fun out here. We've got 12 riders on the track and 20 in the program. Okay, let's see who we have here as they come around the corner here. Okay, no whistle that time around. That's Patrick Richardson leading them through. They're all just rolling. So Michael, the chief, was singing out something to the riders there, not too sure what. But let's see what happens when they come around this time. Phil Jones has got the whistle out ready. And there we go, the whistle's blowing, the race has started. It was 4 and 20 shearers shearing for the... Oh, that's, sorry, Castlereagh. Different palm altogether, different to a bike race. And the riders all rolling around now, nothing too keen to go. Evie Rose was on the front there. She just swings up, all the riders just calmly looking around to see what's happening. No excitement as of yet. One of the problems I do have up in here is a lot of these riders have their numbers pinned on incorrectly, so I can't see them or read them from up here. But That should be checked before they get onto the track. Imogen Kemp's been prominent out there riding. She's rolling through out there. Sebastian Uri sitting up high, just in case something happens underneath. So riders at the front, 4 abreast, no pace on. They'll come around this time and get the call of 11 to go. Okay, they've started now. This will be their first sprint for points. Georgia Dowling looks keen to get in amongst those points. Patrick Richardson coming up around the outside. He wants to get in there as well. Followed through there by... Yes, I thought it was. Yes, that was Max Edwards now. Max Edwards is going on with this. Well, let's just hope he doesn't make the same mistake as he did last night, where he went out in the championship event, of all things, in the scratch race. In the second lap, he broke away, sat half a lap in front of the bunch for half the race, then swung up, went back to the bunch and got dropped. So let's see, he's got the 5 points there for that one. And he's swung up now. We've got a group of 5 riders here at the front. So Matilda Kemps comes through there. She was one of the first girls to come through there. Now, swung up. Got 5 riders out the front now. It depends on what they want to do. They could make this work. The other riders slowly coming back up to them. Okay, we've got one rider there. It's not actually a breakaway. Just rolled off the front without trying. And Felix Henderson had a look. Didn't swing up. Keeps going. I don't think he's trying definitely to keep it going. He's just rolling along at a tempo pace. There we go, another sprint. Max Edwards looks like he's trying to get this one again. He's riding around there. Okay, he'll roll through once again to take these points. Now you're going to have a bit of a gap back to the bunch. Now let's see if Imogen Kemps can catch up with these 2 riders in front. Matilda Kemps. Both in the same race. That's mine. In a minute. Okay, so those 3 riders are still away, so let's see what happens. Patrick Richardson doesn't want him to get away. He's going to go and try and chase them down. But Matilda Kemps now has picked the pace up out the front. Max Edwards struggling to get back to the wheel there. They come around. She swings up. Edwards comes through. And Felix Henderson's down on the bottom. Still got 2 riders chasing there to get on. Come around this time to get the call of 3 to go. Matilda Kemps takes over the lead there. Felix Henderson swings up. Max Edwards is caught in the middle, and once again he spent all his pennies. He'll have to go back and review his style, but he may end up with enough points to still hold this on. Final lap there now. Imogen Kemps is leading Felix Henderson out. Matilda Kemps, sorry. Max Edwards is fighting back again. He's going to come around and try and get this last sprint. I don't think he's going to quite get over Crossman. No, he's resigned himself to second place. So you got Crossman, Edwards and Kemps. And the final point going to Georgia Dowling. So we'll have a look at our points up there, and they'll change when they come through. Edwards should have had enough points to take the win on this event. There we go. Haven't updated the points yet. So we'll roll straight on to our next one. Is a graded points race. This you've got a bit fiery. There's some good riders in here, all going to be competing for points. Pretty big field over there on the fence on the far side. So you've got a mixture in there of masters and juniors. So we'll see how they all go. Which Davis is that? Hunter Davis. Yeah, it is Hunter Davis. So the riders all coming through there. A few of the under 17 riders sitting at the front. Hunter Davis swings up, hands it over. April Patter coming through now to do a turn at the front. Sorry, Isabella Potts it is. Same uniforms. Although I can't see, if that's Isabella, I can't see April out there. Hannah Walter swings up then. Hands reins over to, I think it's Dixon. Eden Cunnington going through, taking a turn through there at the lead. Doing a bit more than half a lap. A few riders coming up around the outside now, getting anxious. Ethan Lee out of the saddle, keen to get the first points for this event. He's being quickly chased down there now by Cameron Douglas Savage. They're not going to get Ethan back in time. Douglas Savage is soon swallowed up by the rest of the field here. So you've got Cruz Kemps, who will probably carry this on when he hits the front there. No, he didn't carry it right on, but he hasn't backed right off either. So you've got a group of the juniors there at the front. Remember, Ethan Lee has got a smaller gear on the Kemps and his mate sitting there at the front. We've got Aidan Parslow let him through just then. It's all quietened down a little bit. Still got Kemps and Ethan Lee hanging around the front there, not wanting to get too far back. So as they await the next bell. Hunter Davis leading them through now. Ethan Lee. Then Kemps on his wheels. Douglas Savage coming through there now. And Harrison Darling bringing up those front little group. And they'll retain it. They'll keep it nice and tight. As you can see there now, Hunter Davis drops back into the middle of the pack, not going to the back of the field. They're going to be pretty close to the front when they come around to get the bell. Douglas Savage leading them through that time. Harrison Darling still sitting there. He's swinging up. Isabella Potts at the front of the bunch now. And we have a bit of a flyer from the outside. The kids know they're coming in to get the bell. Isabella Potts picks the pace up and she knows what she's doing there. Riley Dixon taking a big flyer around the outside. He definitely wants these points. And so Dixon is going to hold on to get this lot of points. So Harrison Darling picked up second place. He's in the maroon. Because he's got his numbers where you can't see them. Okay, so Cruz Kemp's decided he's going to go now. So we've got a few riders away now, and that's a fair sort of a gap in this event, and they're not turning it down. They're going to keep this going and try and keep it going all the way. So led through that time by Hunter Davis. Oh, look at this. They backed off. They backed off. Riley Dixon's leading him up, trying to get him back up to there. But let's see what happens now when they come through again. Pace has picked up a bit again on the front. Harrison Darling tried to turn the pace up again to keep him going. Cruz Kemp's not interested in taking it any further. Now they come through to get the bell this time around. Davis in the lead. Ethan Lee on the outside. Laurelie Moss sitting there in 4th place. And let's see what happens now. So we've got Hunter Davis in the lead. Ethan Lee sitting on his wheel. And that's the way they will, cross the line. I sort of thought it was 38, but it can't be because that's Harley Bradshaw. Okay, riders go around now with the call of 3 to go. All the points are pretty tight at the moment. We've got 3 riders on 5 points. So we've had 3 sprints, 3 different winners. So the riders coming around now, all getting prepared for a final sprint. Dixon down the bottom, watching what's happening. They're coming through now to get the bell. So that's Dixon taking out the lead. They come around past Laurelie. She's gone to the bottom of the track, staying well away from all this. So that's Riley Dixon taking out those final points. That should be enough points to give him the overall lead in this event. I might have something to eat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which event have we gone to now? Event 13. Okay, we're back up now for another graded points race. So we've got the same suspects out there. Madison Taylor's not there now. No, just raced, yeah. So led through this time by Tipple, who swings up, hands it over to Bunzel. Riding it there, pretty depleted field. Felix Crossman leading them through now, followed by Jay Doraboom, Chris Myatt on his wheel, and Campbell Tipple once again in there. Myatt just taking over the lead, no pressure on here. Everyone just in cruise mode at the moment. Cameron Tipple and Felix Crossman. Okay, Oliver Jordan just rolls up to the top there. No pressure on here at the moment. All the riders just rolling around, having a bit of a look at each other. Do I like these? Well, that was the wrong time to take a bite of my sushi, but here we go. So Chris Myatt leading them around, Tipple on his wheel, Bunzel coming up into the third wheel, Tipple coming around the outside. Myatt puts the pressure down again and holds on from Tipple. So we see how that continues to go. I'm on the right one. 15 is Felix Crossman, isn't it? So Jay Dorboom there at the front, just swinging up now, handing over to Crossman. All bunching up, Bunzel in there at the front now, and they come in to get the bell. Crossman sitting there in second wheel behind Bunzel. Chris Myatt sitting behind him, just biding his time. Tipple there at the back again. Crossman having a go now, trying to get around the outside of Bunzel on turn 3. Myatt coming up around the outside, and let's see how we go with that. So we'll do that to Crossman, Myatt, and Bunzel down there, and Tipple coming through for 4th place. You got those names around the right way.
Okay, yeah, I don't know.
15 is because neither 15 or 17 are in the program that I've got.
17's in there, Cameron Tipple.
Not in mine.
Oh, he's on my list. Event 13.
Yeah, no.
Oh, I've got a Cameron Tipple on mine. Okay.
What number?
17.
Yeah, no number 17 in this one. So then when this program is printed, but it's all out of skew with what I have up there. Coming around to get the bell now. We've got Bunzel in the lead. Felix Crossman flying up around the outside. Tipple going with him. Chris Myatt wanting to get back into the mix again for some more points. Tipple's taking over on the outside there. Chris Myatt coming around, pushing Crossman down. So we come there and, well, actually it's Crossman taking that out. Myatt second and Tipple 3rd place. Bunzel holding in there for the minor points at the end. Okay, the riders go through and get the call of 7 laps to go. All just pretty much in cruise mode now, waiting for the next bell. Wyatt sitting at the front and Tipple on the outside of him. Coming through to the bell now. Oh, it's Crossman that goes, followed by Tipple. Then Bunzel. Chris Myatt's not in the bunch on this one. Oliver Jordan getting in there to have a bit of a head out. Jay Doraboom bringing up the rear, trying to get through to there. But let's see how we go. These two boys here. And they'll come around there. And Crossman will hold on to take that out from Tipple. Carl Bunzel in second. And Oliver Jordan will be the final points receiver. What about me? Now the riders will come around now to get the last points. Chris Myatt rolling around the bottom of the track. So we get here. They get the bell now. Oliver Jordan's taking the flyer. Joe Doraboom is there. Now we've got Carl Bunzel chasing up around the outside, chasing Jordan down, followed through then by Crossman. So it looks like Jordan hung on to held the points there. Oh, sorry, that was Tipple in third place and Alex Crossman coming up to pick up the final point. So we'll see what that does with the point scoring. Okay, moving along now to our sprint derbies. These are just performed over 3 laps. And it's more or less a match race, but when you get more than 2, they call it a derby. Normally a lot of derbies run over 5 laps. We see who we have here on the gate. We've got 4 in the program and 3 on the track. So we've got Sam Gallagher leading them out. Who was second one? No. Oh, he's gone. So Fletcher there going in the front, trying to make a bit of a hard. Gallagher's dropped down to the bottom of the track now. He wants to start this happening early. Ronan Munro sitting right at the back. So that's, it's Bryson Fletcher right at the back. Got them around the wrong way. All got the same coloured kit on. They're all swinging up and down over the track. They're coming around now. They better watch out for Gallagher. They get him, the 2 at the back let him get a bit of a head start. The bell goes. Gallagher's off and away. Bryson Fletcher's trying to chase him down. Munro's given up the ghost. He's settling for third place. Bryson Fletcher's just had a bit of a look and said, no, too late. Up on the bars. Gallagher's got it. Come outside of the sprinters lane then, but I doubt very much if anything will happen about that. There was no other rider within 10 metres of him. But you never know. So now we're moving on to our next sprint over here. 3 riders named in the program: Peter Smalley, Chris Lang, and Simon Wallace. And looks like 3 riders on the track. Okay, who's 57? So not in the program, but Max Edwards there leads them away. Chris Lang followed him. Peter Smalley sitting at the back. So nothing too exciting happening at the moment. Lang now just rolling down. Edwards keeping an eye, I think. Peter Smalley staying up high. You'll have to watch him, Chris, because he gets the jump on you. You won't bring him back. He's still coming around here. The call of 2 to go. Max Edwards having a bit of a look around. Peter Smalley going up. Just watch him, Langy. Okay, Max Edwards on the junior gearing down the bottom of the track is gone for. It's a long way for him to go on these little gears. Peter Smalley now just goes past him like that, and Chris Lang will get to Edwards, but whether he gets to Smalley or not is a different thing altogether. He's driving it down the back straight. Peter Smalley has that 8-metre gap, and he will hold that through to the finish. So there you go. Peter Smalley goes over to take that out from Chris Lang and Max Edwards in that event. So next up we have another 3 riders. With any luck it should be Adam Clark, Oscar Winchester and Peter Macris, and I don't think it is. Peter Macris sitting at the back, Adam Clark at the front. It is Adam Clark, just didn't recognise him in those colours. But it looks like the body shape. And just see if our middle rider is Oscar. So there we go. Adam Clark leads them away. Oscar Winchester sitting in the middle, and Peter Macris bringing up the rear. I don't know what's happened. Macris must have had a flat tyre or something. He's got a standard wheel on the back instead of his usual speed wheel. Seems funny these days just to see a standard rim out on a track, especially in a race. You might see him on Tuesday nights for training, but I'll have to find out off Pete what happened to his wheel. So Clark and Macris watching each other. Winchester just sitting at the back, wondering what he's going to do with these 2 guys. Although we saw how Adam performed earlier in the team sprint. The acceleration wasn't his main point. They come through to get the bell now. Clark's gone for it. Macris is right at the back. He's going to back himself to wind these 2. Oh, he's not going to do it. Oscar's sitting there. Clark's just sitting on the wheel. And that's how they'll go across the line. Winchester, Clark, Macris. Taking that one out. Okay, now next rider's up on the track. It should be Anthony Lane, Gerard O'Connell and Glenn Searle. There are 3 riders over there. But Gerard O'Connell isn't one of them. Yeah, my little fat mate yesterday said he may not come today. So we'll have a look at them when they get around this side of the track. It looks like it could be McGrath. So we do have Anthony Lane there. Robert McGrath? Okay, so we go through there now. Anthony Lane leads them out, followed by Robert McGrath, and then Glenn Searle at the back. Okay, Lane swings up to the top. McGrath goes through. Searle goes through. They're all just watching each other now, a bit of cat and mouse. Okay, coming around now, 2 to go, no pressure on anywhere. McGrath rolling down to the bottom of the track. Okay, you can see up the top there now, Glenn Searle getting up high, Anthony Lane dropping down. Because they'll come around, leaving at the last minute. McGrath trying to go early. He's riding right up around the outside. Anthony Lane just watching him. Glenn Searle not putting anything in at all. So Lane coming up to the back wheel of McGrath now. He just swings up the track and he'll quite comfortably go around the top of him and come over to take that one out. So that will go to Anthony Lane will take that out. Robert McGrath will be in second place and Glenn Searle coming home in third. Glenn didn't really push that hard there, but he's had a few hard rides earlier today. Am I cold yet? I'm cold. Are you? What about me? I said. Am I cold? Possibly. Well, my mother always knew when I was cold. She'd tell me to put a jumper on. There you go. She'd say, Billy, you're cold. Go and put a jumper on. Yeah. Oh, okay, Mum. I didn't have any jumpers. You were too poor to have jumpers. Okay, we should have a few of the ladies out there now. We have Sandra Stoy rocking up to the fence. Maddie Douglas Savage behind her. And that's it. That's all she wrote, folks. No Julie Barnett. She's not going to play. She's tired. But okay, we come around. Phil blows the whistles and the ladies are on their way. So let's see how they go here. Maddie's going to have to try something here because Sandra's got a much bigger gear. And Maddie has much quicker acceleration. So they've both got their twos and froms the way things go. Sandra riding in the middle of the track, just keeping Maddie up there. And she wants to either go up or down. That's it, just come down. In the front at the bottom position here like this, you just look back over your wheel and you can see the rider if they have a go. It gives you a chance to accelerate by the time they get to you. So Maddie now looking for a bit of height. Bit of a gap opening up. Sandra goes up. Sandra's starting to pick the pace up now because I'll come around with the call of 1 to go next time around. Story's starting to wind it up now. She has a much bigger gear. Maddie's had the hit. She's come in underneath. The Story having a much bigger gear on. But Maddie's not giving in without a fight. She's struggling up around the outside, and you see the leg speed on the young junior rider trying to maintain on the larger gear. But Sandra will go through and take that out. And well done to young Maddie. It was a good effort. She rode smart, but just the bigger gears can make a difference. Okay, we're getting into an event now called a mystery graded tempo. I like to tell you about it, but it's a mystery. Mystery never repeats. Yeah, well, that's enough of that. We'll see how many riders we get out on the track there. I don't think there's as many riders out there as we have in the program. Robert Vaughan only just rode, so the chances of him being out there are limited. Now let's see here. The riders roll past this time. So that's Evie Rose leading them through. So we have 4 non-scoring laps. So that's Imogen Kemp this time on the front. See 2 girls sitting at the front, high on the track. So we just see what happens. No excitement there at the moment. We're just cruising around like it was a Sunday ride, but it's Saturday, so we'll see how it goes though. See Hannah DiGiorgio there looking around, observant, just watching what's happening around it, keeping in a nice spot there. Second wheel up high, able to attack from there once that bell goes, or when the sprints come into play. Evie Rose still sitting there, second up. Matilda Kemp's hiding there in the middle of the bunch. I think it is. Yeah. So still no urgency, nothing much happening out there, no excitement. Oh, now the bell goes and that's going to change everything. So Evie Rose starts to move forward, but Felix Henderson's taken a fly around the outside. Now we'll see who this is here. We've got the 2 riders coming through. We've got Felix Henderson who's going to lead this one through. And that's Winter Bradshaw, second wheel. Okay, so Matilda Kemps has decided she's had enough of that. I'm going out after these riders. So Crossman and Bradshaw are working well together at the front. Now Matilda Kemps gets across to these three riders. That'll be pretty. Patrick Richardson's also going out their way now to have a bit of a go at this. So half the bunch will be back together. It's still read through there by Jensen. So Flynn Jensen has gone through to the lead now. He's decided he's going to pick this up a little bit. Matilda Kemps has decided she wants to go out and have a go at that. So Flynn Jensen's riding away from the front. Kemps is going across. Winter Bradshaw is going across as well. Jensen swung up. Too much hard work. Kemps keeps it going. Coming around this time, that's Winter Bradshaw coming over to get some points there. All looking around at each other now. So Felix Henderson actually has the lead in the points at the moment. And here we go now. So that's Henderson over the line first now. Patrick Richardson doing the chase there. So we've got the rider coming through now. And here we go, going over the line in first place. Felix Henderson gets the points. He's followed through. Then these riders are going to have to chase him down now. That's Flynn Jensen and Patrick Richardson trying to close this gap down. Matilda Kemps in the middle of nowhere land. Here we go. We've got points again. That's points again to Felix Henderson. He swings up and rolls back in with Jensen and Richardson. They're about to lap some of the tailed off riders. So Flynn Jensen leads them through. Oh no! Patrick Richardson led them through that time. Now he's taken off. Flynn Jensen can't go with him. Edwards is going to try and sneak up there and get into the ploy. Patrick Richardson is going to keep this going. He gets the bell this time through. So he's away. Now Felix Henderson is, and he's off again. So it's going to be pretty tight on the top of the bunch there. Felix Henderson should take this out on points. So there we go. Henderson coming through in first place. He's followed through by Patrick Richardson. Flynn Jensen coming now, and Matilda Kemps coming up in the end. Levy Rose still in there. Okay, we'll move on to the next event now and see how we go. What is the next event now? The 20 lap. Oh, looks like a big field out there now. Another graded mystery tempo. Are we on the outside pocket? On the left? Yep, that's it. Yeah? Want to go for me? Okay, they've all started off now with a nice, gentle pace. A big field out there. Come through now. Davis rolling through. A few of the riders just swinging up now. No one wanting to get too overzealous early in the race. Plenty of time for that. We've got another 18 laps to go. So Cruz Kemps just rolls up to the top. Dixon rolls up. No rider getting overexcited just yet. I still wouldn't want to be too far down the back in a bunch this size, because once that bell goes, it's going to be on. Oliver Urry leads them through, followed by Isabella Potts. Just staying there at the front. Ollie hasn't swung up yet. Let's see if he goes up this time. Maybe he's expecting something. There he goes up. Isabella at the front for the first lot of the sprints. And Harley Bradshaw's in the mix there on the wheel, but looks like Cruz coming around the outside to try and pick up the points here. Isabel trying to hold him out. No, it's Hunter Davis coming around to pick up the points. And these are followed through then by Harley Bradshaw. That's if that's right. It's got doesn't look like Bradshaw, but it could be. Rory Fisk there now coming up to take up the chase. So Cruz still staying out there on his own. He's coming through, trying to rack up these points. Hunter Davis, sorry. And that's really got the field strung out at this time. Come through there. I can't see that rider's number, but I'm sure he has one on. Okay, a bit of a change coming through there now. So once again we got Kemp's away at the front. He's going to ride this off from the front. And Harrison Dowling's up there with him. So let's see if the two get together and work together. Okay, about to lap some slower riders. Kemp's comes through to take the points then. Dowling's rolling through with him. Jans Coates trying to get across that gap. Looks around to see if he's got any help. But Dowling and Cruz starting to work together out now. Dowling picking up the points this time. Jans is coming across the gap. Riley Dixon's trying to close that gap with him. So two riders at the front still working well together. Jans Coates nearly across that gap. Riley Dixon starting to look like the tempo's starting to fade a little, but can he make it? Maybe when the riders at the front get together, they might just slow just that fraction. Now they'll come through this time. Kemps will come through to get the points this time around. Dowling, Kurtz, and let's see, Dixon's just about across the gap. They've only got 4 laps to go, so we'll see what that happens. Oh, slower riders upset things a little bit there. Might give Dixon a chance to catch back on. Oh, here we go now. Looks like Dowling has attacked his mates. Kurtz is chasing him. Kemps is going, nope, Kurtz has swung up. He's not willing to chase. So they're going around now. Dowling's going to lead them through this time. They get the call of 2 to go. I'd say Dowling going to get that, and I'd put my money on Kemps take out the last one. No, Riley Dixon, the last one to get across, is now gone on the attack. Kemps has had enough. Riley Dixon going around the outside of Dowling, gets the points on that one, and will right away from the rest of them after having made that big chase to get across that gap. So they'll go Dixon, Dowling, Kurtz, Kemps as they come across the line. Cold, hey? Looks like Dowling like that. Okay, moving right along to our next event now. Event 17 on the program. Who? Have I got the right one? Yeah. It's got Jay Dorboom out there. Oh, yeah, he's there. Okay, very different program here to what I have in front of me here. So Bunzel leads them through there now, swings up, Savage, Dorboom, Tipple. Jordan there bringing up the rear, Matty Taylor in there amongst them. Nothing other exciting happening out there at the moment. So Dorboom's going to lead him through over the line. No, he's gone up straight away. See, 17 and 15 are out there, they're not in the program.
I've got 17.
Well, look.
Phillips Crossman out there again.
See?
Okay, yeah, I've got Cameron Tipple on mine.
So coming around to get the bell this time around, Jay Dorboom was at the front, but he swung straight up. So 17 is Cameron Tipple. Now, no one really wanted that. And Tipple's gone up to the top. Dorboom's gone around the outside. So you have Tipple and Crossman chasing. But Jay Dorboom will fix up these first points. And 17 is Tipple, is it? Yes. So Tipple coming around now. He goes through to the front. Jay will drop back down onto his wheel. Crossman coming across there. Now we have Caleb Bunzel coming across now to try and join those front group of riders. And Taylor and Jordan are sitting at the back. So we only had 4 to start and 6 to start with. So now we're back down to 4 riders at the front. Dorboom leading them through again. Followed then by Crossman, Tipple and and Bunzel in that order. So just see how they're going through here now, still coming through in that order. So Crossman, Tipple, Bunzel, Dorraboom. 15 is Crossman, isn't he? Okay, Bunzel decided he's going to have a bit of a hit out himself. And away he goes now. He's going to take the points on this one. And he's followed by Tipple and Crossman. They look like they're going to have a bit of a dig out here now. Dorraboom's still sitting there. They haven't lost him yet, but the elastic band's starting to get a bit long. Here you go through. Riders led through then. Tipple leads. Crossman in second wheel. Bunzel coming up now into second wheel to hang on to it. Dorraboom still there. So led through that time by Crossman. All riders swinging up. No one want to put in a great deal of effort. So Dorraboom drops down to the bottom of the track. He's going to come around now. Crossman's leading the event. Well, Crossman and Tipple on the same amount of points, actually. So Dorraboom comes through then. He gets a point to add to his score. So that brings him up to 4 points. And busted, I think. So it looks like this contest is going to be between Tipple and Crossman, although Carl Bunzel, he's managed to get his way back up there to these two riders, and they're swapping turns. He's sitting at the back. So they come around this time to get the call of 5 to go, sorry. They just changed that for me. That's good. So Crossman over the line. Two riders are still swapping turns at the front. The Bunzel there, Jordan shouldn't interfere with the event. He's been lapped, hasn't he? Yeah, so Jordan did the right thing then, dropped off the wheel to swing up because he's a lapped rider. You don't want them coming in to affect the outcome of the race. Now, this is a bit strange. Crossman's riding away. Doesn't look like Cameron Tipple can stay with them. Crossman swings up. He's done his turn. No one comes through. So he puts the pace on. And you can see now Bunzel's working hard to hold the wheel as well. And Tipple's working even harder and not getting anywhere. So Felix is riding away from his riders. Bunzel swings up to let the others come through. Oliver Jordan does the right thing again. Him sitting there like that is having no effect on the outcome of the event. So there's no reason why he should do anything. So we get the bell now. And none of these riders have got enough left to chase Crossman down. Now Jordan comes through and he's going to have a bit of a head out, but it's not going to affect the outcome. He won't get any. He's already down on points because he's been lapped. And they roll through there now. That goes through to Crossman. And that should be enough points to give Felix Crossman the win in that event. Do we have an event 18? Okay, moving on to event 18, we have a hare and hounds. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with the hare and hounds, what you do is we have some riders who we refer to as hares and some as hounds. Of course, you go back to your English hunting, and that's what they did. So what we do is we put the hares out there, and then the hounds have to try and catch them. So usually roughly about a half a lap head start. And once again, this is an event where it involves teamwork, a lot of talking to each other. Because you can have one rider at the front or the chasing team busts the line up and breaks away and it all starts falling apart. It can mean the failure of that particular group. So we've got Chris Myatt on the fence over the back that I can see. Oh, that's Chris Myatt, Sam Gallagher, Ronan Munro over at the back. Down in the front straight here we have Matty Douglas Savage, Max Edwards, Rory Fisk. Looks like Oscar Winchester. But once again we have about 18 riders in the program. We've got 7 on the track. And that must be all there is, because the commissaire at the back is signalling all good. Oh no, we've got an extra rider at the we've got Peter Macris. Now I'm making the assumption here that the riders in the back straight are going to be the hounds. To see the other rider is there. No, it's Max Edwards, not Oscar Winchester. It looks like Max Edwards. Yes, it is. So there we go. That's the start. Now, as you can see, Sam Gallagher's taken off too hard. Or he wants to just try and do it on his own. Yeah, so the front group are all nice together now. So Gallagher's gone on his own. Myatt's doing all the work for the back two. He swings up now though and lets Fletcher come through. Is that Bryson Fletcher, the second one? Over there. Max Edwards let a bit of a gap open up there. So Macris has got to make sure he doesn't use his big gear and break away from these kids. Okay, so Gallagher was caught onto the back of Matty. He's about to go past Max. And, yeah, Myatt's in the middle of nowhere land. Fletcher not able to do any more. This front group has broken up a little bit. Macris has done all he can. He's swung up. Edwards is still going on with it. Rory Fisk is still there. Gallagher's about to catch up to Rory. It's all over Red Rover. So we've got Gallagher coming in now to the back of Rory Fisk. Not quite closing the gap just yet. Rory's still holding on, but I can see it's only... No, he swung up. So did Gallagher. Edwards has had enough. Macris has had enough. Matty's had enough. Everybody's had enough. Now we just see Roy's having a look around at Sam. Yeah, well, that's a bit of a... going to be a bit of a worry. Roy, what are you going to do now? I'm not allowed to put him over the fence anymore. That's frowned upon these days. So you're going to have to try and outsmart him somehow, because Sam has got the top end on you. But you're learning. Go down the bottom. Take him down the bottom. Okay, they'll get the bell next time around. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. But they're the only two contesting anything at the moment. And there goes the bell. Sam goes up and round the outside, so Gallagher's going to take this one out. Rory's putting in a brave effort. And now all of a sudden decides, no, I'll save my legs, thank you, for some other day. So they go through there. Gallagher takes that one out. Rory Fisk comes through for second place. And there's no riders left. Oh, yes, Winchester's still rolling around, so he may pick up third. Having enough time?
Yeah, it's early.
Is it? Oh, okay.
It's only 2:30.
It's only 2:30. Why is it only 2:30?
It's only 2:30.
Why can't it be 3:30?
Well, I don't think we'll be here till 6.
Are we?
I don't think so. You've only got a scratch 2 or 3 scratch races.
Okay, we now have a scratch elimination. So if you scratch, it'll elimination the itch. But anyhow, let's go on with this. We got over there Yeah, there's a few of the riders in the bunch that are here on the program. Keep popping up all over the place. Let's see who rolls through here now. Evie Rose is there. Hannah Giorgio's there. Georgia Dowling leading them through at the moment, but Evie Rose going up on the outside of her. They'll come around this time to get the call of 14 to go. Dowling still leading it through. Evie Rose sitting on the outside. Adele Dixon sitting in there. Patrick Richardson still sitting up on the outside. So if they want to go, you find Patrick likes to attack. Still no excitement anywhere in the bunch. Sebastian Ari, 4 wide now, but trying to get up near the front, so he's be on hand if something happens. Drop back in onto Patrick Richardson's wheel. Still no excitement in the bunch. Nothing much has changed. Ari still coming around there. Matilda Kemp staying near the front, keeping an eye on things. Okay. Now we're all starting to bunch up. They're wider than they are long. Very wide up on the track. They come through. They get the bell this time around. And so we've got Matilda Kemp's up at the top of the track, taking a bit of a leap to go and try and get through there, followed through by Patrick Richardson. And then Dowling coming through on the outside. A bit of Bradshaw in there well amongst the mist of this. But you see this, if Kemps can hold this off. Yes, Matilda Kemps comes through, takes that one out. Patrick Richardson involved in there. Evie Rose still in amongst the mix as well. I think that was... we'll see how they go this time around. So there's some of the eliminations happening. Isla Tompkinson out that time around. Kemp's still, Matilda Kemp still sitting just on the front there. Paddy Richardson just up on the outside. Keeping it nice and high. Little Bradshaw looking around from left to right, making sure she's not getting left too close to the back. Okay, we've got a rider up there who looks like he's conceded. It's out. They're coming around this time. And it's going to be 77. 77 was already out earlier. Wasn't it? Well, what do you mean you're not watching?
I wasn't watching.
Why?
Because I didn't realise it
What do you think you're getting paid for?
I know, I didn't realise it wasn't elimination. I thought it was just another stretch race.
No, it says scratch it. No. Okay, coming around here again now, the rider's crossing the line, and it will be Bo Morfitt that time around, 63, the top of the track. See, they'll have one more elimination this time. This will be the last rider for the elimination. Now it goes back to a scratch, and it will be Georgia Dowling. Got caught out down the bottom of the track. They've got no board on the other side, so the riders haven't got the board. So Georgia might not know that she was out. She's still in amongst the bunch there. She's got her hands on top of the bars. I'd say she knows now, yes. The other riders have all just decided to go into cruise mode. They've done enough hard work. So Olivia's on the move. She's running backwards and forwards, so... We've got a lap rider, number 63. She's sitting up at the top of the track. She shouldn't be up there. Now, Evie Rose is leading them through this time. They've still got 3 to go. Henry DiGiorgio sitting there on the wheel. Winner Bradshaw sitting up high. Patrick Richardson in there. Matilda Kemps now knows they're going to get the call this time. She's going to go early. She's going to try and lead this one out. She's gone. She's got a nice bit of a gap on Bradshaw. Adele Dixon trying to close that gap down. Winner Bradshaw's caught up to Kemps. Backed off a little bit. Patrick Richardson's now going. So the girls want to get a move on because Patrick's closing that gap down pretty fast. And Patrick Richardson going through. And he's bringing Felix Henderson with him. And the two of them are going. Bradshaw goes up to try and go with them as well. She can't quite get there, so they're going to get them come around this time around, and you'll find that that could possibly be Felix Henderson's going to come through and take the win. And Patrick Richardson in second place. And then followed through by the young ladies in the group. So there we go. What have we got next? Which event number? I'm cold. No, because you need it.
No, I don't.
You do.
I don't.
Yeah, you do. No, no.
If you don't want it, I will take it.
I'll freeze.
But I've got.
I'll suffer for you.
I have got a long one here. I can go and get the car and get my other one.
Yeah.
I can.
What can you get for me?
I don't know. I could take my car for you.
Oh, I have one for you.
I know you do. I'm just keeping yours warm.
Okay, moving right along, we have. Oh, wow, look, scratch elimination. A 20 lapper. But we don't got no riders. Okay, we've got riders over there now getting ready to go up on the track. Looks like that could be the group we've got here for event 20. It's Laura Lee Moss, isn't it?
No, in the front, yeah, she's in orange. Gabrielle, Beth is out there too. Gabrielle Bells, is it?
Bells, yeah.
Yeah, she's not on the list.
Is she out there?
Yeah, that's her in the yellow and green, just under the sign, the camera.
Yeah, that's her. I just couldn't see the frame. Okay, so we've got our riders lining up on the fence. Over the other side, getting ready for the start in this event. Yeah, so once again we've got about 20 riders on the program. There's about 10 riders on the track. So maybe these riders are getting a little bit weary. Or there being some championship events coming up, they may be saving their legs. So sometimes you have to pick and choose. This led through this time by Laura Lee Moss. Eden Cunnington out there. There's 59. No. What number is Gabrielle?
Elise Warren is 59.
So the riders coming around now. No one too worried about these first few laps. Eden Cunnington going through now, swinging up to the top. She won't go far away from the front. Riley Dixon's in there as well. They won't want to get too far away from the top. April Paddy's doing her turn, swinging up towards the top. I'll wait till they get that first bell before anything happens. Gabrielle Bells has done a turn. No one staying on the front for too long at all. Hannah Walters quickly swings up from the bottom of the track. Jans Coates, not just recently ridden, he's out there again. He's sitting at the front here now. Well, one of the things in these things, when you want to sit at the front, you just do it at your pace. So Riley Dixon quite comfortable there, just sitting on the wheel of Jans Coates from the Bundy Club. And they'll come around now. Haven't started their eliminations yet, but Jans has picked the pace up a little bit. Everyone's sort of strung out a little bit further now. April Paddy's swung up to the top. She's decided she's had enough already before they started the elimination. It is April, is it? Yeah. Yeah, so April Paddy looks like she's had enough. Oh, a bit of a gap opened up over the back over there. Can that rider close it? No. Swung up and left it to Gabrielle to try and shut down. So Jans Kurtz has put the hammer down at the front here. Riley Dixon sitting on his wheel, so he's getting a free ride. And but the size of Riley and the size of Jans, he just sits there in the slipstream, not doing any work at all. Gabrielle's still trying to close that gap down, but she's getting nowhere fast at the moment. That says 39. It's not 39. It says Cameron Douglas Savage. Pardon? Who's that? Oh, yeah. So we've got Elise Vaughan leading them through there at the moment, so that the front group of riders has grown to be the main bunch now. Gabrielle finally got back onto the front. Hannah Walters does her turn, swings up. Riley Dixon comes in to do his turn now. Just sitting on the front. Okay, now there goes the bell for the start of this. Max Edwards is sitting at the front. No. Is it? Okay, they're coming around here now. We'll have our first rider come through to take out points for this. So we've got 52 at the back. He's out. Someone's tricked me with numbers. Okay, that will be Jans Kurtz down the bottom is my guess. Jans sees the sign, swings up. Laurel E. Moss not in a real good position there now. She's right at the back. Gabrielle Bells is down at the bottom of the track with nowhere to go. So we'll see what this is. No. There we go. Hannah Walters will be out on that one. And we'll have one more rider out. And then it goes back to our scratch. And this is either going to be Gabrielle or Laurel E. And by the look of that, it's going to be Gabrielle. Gabrielle Bells is out on that one. So Gabrielle doesn't realise that she's out. Okay, so they've called 41 there, which was the from the lap before, and Gabrielle's still in there racing, so I don't know what they're doing there. But anyhow, oh no, now she's out. She's realised she must have seen the sign on the other side. The riders come through now and get 3 to go. So Laurel E. Edwards still out there with a bit of a chance in this. So Riley Dixon's decided he's going to start things happening a bit early. Moss is going with them as they come around this time. So Riley Dixon will lead them through to start these sprint as they come in to get the bell. Elise Vaughan's still there, but Laurelie Moss is going around the outside. Now, whether she can close that gap down to the front rider. Making a good effort over, but I don't think he's quite enough go. Riley just seen him coming now, so he's got to pick it up a little bit. So he'll go through to take that. Laurelie Moss will be second. Eden Cunnington will be in third place. And Elise Vaughan will come home in fourth. Okay, now we've got another scratch elimination for our so we see how this one goes. More starters in the list than on the track. No Flynn Larkins, of course. He didn't ride last night either, so maybe he's not well. So I can see Jay Doralboom over there, Chris Myatt. Looks like Carl Bunzel's over there. Can't see Oliver Jordan at all. Douglas Savage is over there. Now it looks like Sam Gallagher just rolling up the ramp, not in the program that I can see. How's it going? You're winning? What are you winning? Okay, the riders roll around this time around. Sam Gallagher leads them through, followed through them by Jay Doralboom. Carl Bunzel rolling through there now. Felix Crossman coming up. Or is it Douglas Savage? I'll have to have a look when they come around. No, they're all out there. Crossman, Savage and Tipple. Yeah, so Crossman and Tipple have done it again. They want to start this happening early. Chris Myatt's trying to bridge the gap across. Two riders at the front decide they'll work together. So they've got Crossman and Tipple working there. Douglas Savage will close the gap down. He's taking Gallagher with him. Yeah, Douglas Savage is going to go around the outside. Let's all have a bit of a go at this. Come on, he says. So, and he's got Sam Gallagher going with him. So Crossman, Tipple, Doralboom, Myatt, Bunzel, they'll have to do something here. Doralboom's at the front now. Sam Gallagher's taking a turn on the front, so we'll see if he puts anything in. Oop, he's put a bit too much in. He's lost Douglas Savage. So when he swings up, the other rider won't be there. So Tipple leading through the back bunch through now, trying to close this gap. Myatt taking a turn now at the front with Bunzel on his wheel. Gallagher once again at the front. No, Douglas Savage has had enough. He swings up to the top of the track. Gallagher has a look around and he said, well, I'm not going to play the game on my own. He said, I'll take my chances in a sprint finish. Because they come around. Still got 14 laps to go, or 13 to go by the time they come around this time. So, long way to go for these riders. So, Doralboom leads them around. Chris Myatt's still there. Crossman rolling through. Bunzel just bring him in. Gallagher's still sitting there at the back of the bunch. He's quite happy to back himself in the sprint finish, but I think some of these riders will attack pretty early on. So it looks like Courtney McGowan's had enough. So they come around this time and get the call of 12 to go. So you've got Sam Gallagher leading him through. He swings up, hands it over to Jay Doraboom. Chris Myatt coming through there now. Felix Crossman. Nothing great, no great urgency in the bunch there at all. No one trying to do anything. I think we've got some tired legs out there by now. Chris Myatt rolling through over the line that time. Handing the lead over to Crossman. We're doing pretty short turns now. But I still expect something to happen before the end of the race. I don't think it'll come down to just be left to a sprint finish, because I know you've got a few riders out there who'll try and get rid of Gallagher. Especially you've got those Crossman and Douglas Savage. They'll try something. Could come from Tipple, Cameron Tipple, or even Carl Bunzel. Don't think Chris Myatt will try anything brave at this stage of events, nor Jay Doraboom. There we come through, we get the bell now. Oh, the boys better look out. So there we go, first rider out is Crossman. Comes a bit of a surprise. He normally likes to ride these enduro events from the front. So getting caught at the back is not characteristic of him. So let's see now. Myatt's not looking too good, but Carl Bunzel's on the bottom of the track. So let's see as they go through there. Yep, I'd put my money on Bunzel going out. Yep, now Myatt's not able to make up any ground here, so Chris Myatt will probably be your next rider out. And then it goes back to the scratch race, so Chris didn't quite make the cut. So that leaves us with 4 riders in the scratch. Gallagher's at the front, swings up. Jay Doraboom's now coming down. Tipple's down with him. Savage at the back. Okay, they're just rolling through now. Douglas Savage on the front, Cameron Tipple, Jay Doraboom, Sam Gallagher. Don't know what they're going to try now, because with those riders out there, I'd probably put my money on Gallagher to be the better sprinter. The others might outsmart him. That's what they do. Sometimes this track racing can come down a lot to tactics. Okay, they're coming around this time. Still got 2 laps to go. No one's trying anything too fancy at the moment. Doraboom swings up. That is Sam Gallagher, isn't it? Pardon? Okay, they're coming around now this time to get the bell. So we've got Douglas Savage leaving it through. Sam Gallagher on his wheel. That didn't take much, did it? So now he's got to watch out. Now Douglas Savage started it. He backed off a bit then. Maybe he shouldn't have done, because Tipple's coming right up onto his wheel and may even go past him. So Gallagher gets it. Tipple second, Douglas Savage third, and Jay Doraboom will roll in here for 4th place. Well done, Jay. Okay, now we'll be moving on to some of our sprint events. And this is probably why some of the riders didn't ride in the elimination events, because if they had the sprints coming up, they want to save their legs for that. The first riders on the track should be Julie Barnett and Maddie Douglas Savage. So Okay, so heat 1 is a non-event, so we're going straight on to heat 2. Oh yeah. I still can't see Julie though.
She's sitting on the floor in front of where Jared would be sitting if he was sitting there.
Oh yeah, I can see now. Yeah. Yeah, so we have Peter Macris and Glenn Searle rolling around now to the starter. Young Phil Jones down there doing the job today. So it looks like Macris is going to lead this out, followed through by Glenn Searle. So Glenn's got a different wheel on as well. So then what happened to his rear wheel earlier in the team sprint? May have stripped the hub, because it looked to me very much like the cog was slipping on the hub. So Macris coming around now, riding up just above the stayers line. Yes, keeping his eye on that Glenn Searle. Glenn now coming up, drawing level. Both riders staying high on the track. Macris just watching. They'll come around this time to get the bell. Let's see which rider wants to lead this out. So there we go. Searle hasn't quite got enough room to drop. There he goes. He's dropped to the bottom. Macris has reacted reasonably quickly. He'll get straight onto the wheel. The sprint hasn't started yet. Macris around the outside. They hit down the back straight. There they go. Searle out of the saddle, hitting Macris, doing the same thing. Macris holding his ground as he's coming around the turns. Let's see what happens when he comes into the transition. He should be able to accelerate away, and that's just what he does. Oh, pick that. Harder to pick than a broken nose with a pair of boxing gloves on. But there you go. So we'll just see what the comments say about that. Possibly Macris on top, but yeah, just wait and see, Glenn. No results from the judges. So we'll see how our next two riders are three. So we have Max Edwards, Oscar Winchester, and Rory Fisk. All down there because I know Gerard O'Connell's not here. So anyhow, we've just put these up. Edwards to lead it out. Winchester second wheel. Rory Fisk sitting there at the back. Just slowing or rolling around the other side there. The commissaires watching. The boys in a bit of a standstill over the other side there. Trying to decide who does or doesn't want to be the lead rider. Oh, there we go now. So the rider's coming back around this side again. So Winchester's looks around. Rory Fisk on his wheel. Max Edwards sitting at the back now, observing. In a 3-up derby, the back rider has the most advantage. The most disadvantaged rider in a three-person derby is the middle rider, because you've got to have your head on a swivel and looking both ways to see what's happening. You've got to keep your eye on the back rider and the front rider. But now the bell's gone. Max Edwards has decided to take it out. Winchester's going to chase him down. Fisk is going to sit the wheel. Oh! Winchester swung up. I don't think Rory Fisk was quite ready for that. Winchester didn't have any legs. His head said, let's go, legs. His legs said, shut up, head. But there we go. Rory Fisk goes through to take that one out from Max Edwards and Oscar Winchester being the third rider. Now let's see. I can see in the program what it says, but I can't see the riders. Program says we should have Gabrielle Bells and Sandra Stoy up next. Can't see any of those riders ready to go onto the track. So we've got Sam Gallagher. No, it's not. It's number 8. Ronan. So it looks like we got Keita Smalley and Ronan Munro. Anyhow, so see how this goes. Keita Smalley was training with me on Tuesday nights at one stage there, and he's starting to wanted to go down the lines of being a sprinter. So now he's got programs and that heading him all down that path. And let's just see how he goes here up against Ronan. Because Ronan Munro himself is quite an accomplished sprinter. He's looking around now, he's taking up the high ground. He knows what he wants to do. So Keita, you either want to take him... Oh. I'm going to drop down early, don't let him get the jump on you. That's it. Go now and see if you can hold it. Make him come around you the hard way. Ronan Munro's gaining on Smalley. He's bringing him back. Let's see what happens as they come around up onto turn 3, turn 4. Ronan Munro's coming around the outside now and just goes pip. There's only a half a wheel in it, but that's all you need to win by. So that one will go to Ronan Munro. Keita Smalley in second place. A couple of riders coming up onto the track now. We have... I think it's supposed to be Adam Clark and Simon Wallace, but it's Chris Myatt at the back. We'll see who the other rider is when they get a bit closer. Could be Anthony Lane. So we might be just moving on to the next heat. So we have Anthony Lane and Chris Myatt riding today. Chris, a regular on the Tuesday night training sessions. Has a bit of fun there. Have I got another sushi? Or do you want it? outside. Oh. Okay, two people just rolling around the bottom here. Lane just quite comfortable rolling around on the Côte d'Azur. Oh, that one. That's another rig, just like the other rig.
It's a chicken avocado, that one.
Yeah, what was the other one?
Oh, it's chicken something or other.
Chicken.
No, it wasn't chicken.
Okay, coming around now, they'll get the bell this time around. Oh, Myatt decided he wants to start a race out of this. Lane's not too sure about it, so save your legs. Chris, sit down. Have a look around. Have a look around, Chris. There's no one there. I think he's aware of that by now. And Chris Myatt is really pulling everything out for this one, isn't he? Well, there you go. Great ride. Taken out by Myatt. Why was that bit sticking out like that?
So you can see what's in there, I'd say. It never used to be like that, but so you can see there actually is chicken and avocado in there.
It is nearly all rice.
Yeah, no. I haven't had Susie for ages. I love sushi. Actually, that's what my Sue stick when I went there with the karate chop. He did such a good job.
Look at that.
Yeah. He actually got them.
Pummeling.
Yeah.
That's what it's called, pummeling.
They must admit they're tired coming up and down the stairs. But after riding Big Gear Wednesday.
Well, it looks like we have another race on here now. If I'm not mistaken, we've got Gallagher out there again.
Well, it did. Nixon and Monroe, so I don't know.
Pardon?
I'm wondering whether it's Nixon and Monroe, but I know Gallagher's got the green helmet.
So my program says Gallagher and Fletcher, and Gallagher rode a little bit a while ago against Keita Smelly. So, was it Monday?
Yeah.
No, we'll see him ride against somebody. Number 13 is Fletcher.
Number 9 is Sam Gallagher.
So, there we go. Sam Gallagher rides away. Bryson Fletcher right on his wheel. So these boys will probably have a bit of a play out there. They'll have fun. Gallagher just rolling along, keeping his eye. Fletcher going up high now. They're over the half lap. So now games can start. Can't do much in that first half lap because the designated number 1 rider must lead for the first half lap at a pace similar to or greater than walking pace. The second rider can take the lead if they so desire. Okay, Gallagher now, Fletcher going up high. Both riders up on the track. Gallagher keeping an eye on Fletcher. Fletcher wanting to try. Oh, there's a post there. Here we go. Fletcher's coming down now. Whoa! Look at that. That was close. The rider was looking over the wrong shoulder, so Bryson Fletcher will accelerate down the back straight. Gallagher's trying to have a bit of a look back and just see what happens around here. Gallagher's coming up around the outside to put the check on, and there we go. We'll give that one to Gallagher. Lefty's run a little bit late, but he made it. So Gallagher gets that one. Second place to Sam Fletcher.
So nothing would happen, to do with the sprinters lane and the duck pool?
Nothing to do with it.
No, so will anything happen?
Probably not.
Like I said, 'cause it happened right in front of them.
Fletcher was the first one in the lane over here.
Yeah.
Then go look around like that to see where he was, and he's underneath him. When he went down,
He was there.
Fletcher then went out into the blue to get away from him.
Yeah.
What time is it?
3:15, 3:15, so you won't have any heating on that.
I'm just downstairs. Yeah, I'm just.
What have we got? We've got team sprint right off. Who have we got?
I'm not sure. They've got event 23 up here. Oh yeah, I didn't see event 23. I went to 24. So 23, 7th place, under 17 men's 5th and 6th. 5th and 6th. So Balmoral and Gold Coast. So
But who are the
Balmoral.
riders?
Yeah. Ari.
Richardson?
Yeah. You get it.
Who's it? Which Ari is it?
Sebastian Ari. Becky Richardson.
Okay, we got the right off now for some of our sprint teams. We've got Sebastian Ari in the starting blocks there at the moment. Patrick Richardson above him, and then Felix Henderson. We've got the 30-second countdown to go. Felix Henderson, I said, didn't I?
Yes. 66. I don't know what I've just copied them off the screen, so I'm not sure.
So Sebastian Ari there, waiting patiently in the starting blocks. There we go, and they're away. Sebastian Ari really grunting there as he's trying to get that bike moving. Patrick Richardson down onto the wheel. Felix Henderson dropping in there next. Nice and tight for a team. Sebastian's still out of the saddle. He's now down. He's settled into his rhythm. Coming around now, he'll swing up and hand it over to Patrick Richardson to do his turn at the front. So that's a 23-second first lap. Nice tight formation down the back. Patrick Richardson coming around now, getting ready to hand the final lap over, and they had a split of 42.956. So Felix Henderson hammering it along down the back straight there to come around and see what time he stops the clock. And it is a time of 1:01.124.
I just heard from Sandy and she just said we'll probably see you there. I said great.
I'll go like this.
Yeah. I did bring a change of clothes.
What are you going to wear?
A dress.
You're going to wear a dress?
Mm.
You're going to wear knickers?
Frilly knickers, yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I hope I've taken some frillies. I don't know yet. Hope so.
Okay, we've got our next team getting ready to go down here now. Who we got?
Should be Gold Coast. Yep. Riley Dixon.
He's not in his Riley Dixon shirt.
Matthew someone. Can't see the name.
Max Edwards.
And then Max Pocock as well.
Max Edwards?
Really? Because the board says Max. Doesn't it say Pocock?
Where?
Up here. Max Pocock. Matthew McCowell.
Yeah, and Max Edwards.
This is Max Pocock on the board.
Which team am I looking at then? Well, Max Edwards was the last one, was it? No.
61 was Max Pocock.
Max Edwards is sitting there on his bike. In the middle rider.
57. Okay, well that would have been on the 14th.
No, because I can see Max Edwards from here on the board. Look here.
Oh,
What's that?
I'm looking at the top. Yeah, okay. Max,
See this?
up the top.
Oh, look,
Yes,
Max Edwards.
Yeah, I was looking at the bottom. Max Cooper.
So who's the third rider? Henry. So we got Ari in the starting blocks, Edwards above him, Valcarez sitting at the top of the track. There we go. Olorari's getting it out of the blocks now. Edwards straight onto his wheel. Henry Valcarez then just a little bit of a gap. See if he can close that gap. He needs to give himself a little bit of safety of the legs. Because you've got the gap. You're pushing wind. So Ari swings up. Edwards takes over. Valcarez has that gap closed down now. He's right onto the top of that. Let's see what they do for the coming in for the 250 time. These are more exciting when you've got one either side of the track though actually. There we go. They've stopped the clock there at 37.638. And they're going to come in here and stop the clock on the final time. .55.170. Ah, they did have two teams on there.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
So yeah, didn't notice that.
That's who I had written, but I didn't get the names right. I had Balmoral and Gold Coast when I went back and checked my numbers.
So who have we got on here now? The girls.
Yes. I'm assuming they're not going to do the bronze rider because I think there was only 3 teams for the girls.
Well, we've got the bronze final written down. Yeah.
You got Maddie?
Yeah.
Maddie, I've got Maddie, Isla and Elise, but I don't have their last name.
Don't have whose?
Elise Vaughan
Elise Vaughan.
and Isla Tompkinson.
So it looks like we have Isla Tompkinson in the starting blocks for this one. Elise Vaughan next rider up, then Maddie Savage at the top of the track. About to get ready now. Elise getting prepared. Sorry, Isla. Oh, not a good hard push out of there by Isla. But she's away. Elise Vaughan quickly onto the wheel. Maddie drops straight down there. Okay, riding around through the back straight now. We'll come around to get our first lap. There we go. 25 seconds. Now, Elise Vaughan's really picked the pace up there. She's treading on the pedals, and Maddie had no trouble staying with her. I'll come around now and see what they do for the 500 time. They've stopped the clock at 49.952. Now let's see what time Maddie can bring it home in. She stops the clock at 1:00.735. What have we got next?
I've got Gold Coast and Balmoral. Yep, I've got Adele, Dixon, which I've got. And, oh no, Bow. Oh, yeah.
Got 2 teams.
I've got Bow Norfolk. Yep, we have. And they've got Winter Bradshaw in there. I think maybe that's,
Winter Bradshaw starting on this side.
yeah, she was Winter Bradshaw.
Looks like that Winter Bradshaw doing the start on this side. Where?
And Georgia on the other side, and Georgia Dowling.
Looks like Georgia Dowling starting on the far side. Can you see that number? Matilda Kemp's in the middle. So we're away now. Winter Bradshaw getting the roll over on this side. Okay. Had a false start there. Something's gone wrong. We've got a rider still in the blocks. Is Hannah Walters, isn't it? So it looks like there's a bit of a problem. The bike didn't release over in the back there. Georgia Dowling couldn't go anywhere. So Michael on the radio over there, something's wrong with the start gate, I'd say. So you just talk amongst yourself for a while and we figure this out, okay? I'll have a bit more of my lunch and see how we go. It's I'm talking to the microphone eating lunch, so it makes it a drawn out process. Okay, looks like they just done a dummy run for the start to see if it would release. And what happens if you're not aware of it is, like I said, of brake pads in there that grip the back wheel of the bike that hold until the counter counts down. So when the final bit goes on the counter, the pads on either side of the track on those will simultaneously release to allow the bike to move forward. Looks like at this present time the one in the back straight doesn't want to play the game. You cold yet?
I've put your coat because I got hot before, so you can have your coat now.
Don't want it then. But maybe I do. That's good. You like that?
Just thinking how lucky I am that I didn't put a dress in that flares out. I could always go dancing in my trousers anyway.
You might have a dress that flares out.
Might I?
I don't know. Really.
Oh, my dresses flare out when I dance with this one I chose, doesn't it? Pretty sure I didn't put frillies in, which is so unlike me.
Yeah.
So unlike me not to put frillies in, but anyway.
Okay, we're still waiting for them at the in the back straight. They're still playing around trying to get the calipers to release. Might have to go back to the old-fashioned method of doing handheld. So they're bringing the go bikes back up again. Who did I say was on the start on the back side? Hannah. Yeah. No, Georgia Dowling's on the front. Yeah, they might want to stop the clocks from running. They've just done a. There we go. It's all back zero again. That'll be good. So we've got Georgia Dowling in the blocks on the back. Matilda and Hannah Walters up there. Got Winter Bradshaw in the starting blocks on the front straight. Who's second rider? No? Who's second rider? It's Winter.
Adele Dixon, I think.
Oh.
And then Bo is number 3.
Yep. So Winter Bradshaw in the gates on the front straight, Adele Dixon second wheeled, and Bo Morfitt. Getting ready, here we go again. Okay, the gates let go that time. Winter Bradshaw's away. Georgia Dowling's away, so Bradshaw seems to have opened up a little bit of a gap on the Dowling team over there. So let's see here. Yeah, there's about 5 metres in that. So they'll get around, see what happens when they swing up. Bradshaw's coming around now. Darling's coming up. She still held that gap, so there's still about 10 metres in it. Who did we say was second? So Dixon's leading him out, still maintaining that gap. It's not to have opened up a little bit more. Let's see what Kemps can do on her turn. She's bringing around now. She'll hand over in a minute to Walters. So there we go. We've got the race on now between Morfitt and Walters. And you come around and Morfitt has got that at the moment by still that 5 metre gap. Let's see if they can close any of this down any further. No, I'd say it's going to go... Oh, there you go. Not a lot in it at the end of the day. Half a second in that. That was very good. Well brought back by the Bundaberg Hamilton team. They did bring it back. There was a bit more of a gap in that earlier on, but Gold Coast team hung on to take that one out. That's the gold, isn't it? Yes. So that will bring the gold medal to the Gold Coast team and a silver medal to the Bundaberg Hamilton team. So well done to all those young ladies. What have we got next? Event 26. Pardon? So we've got
No, I haven't.
Robert McGrath.
Yep, down here. Really? Oh, yeah.
So you've got Robert McGrath.
Yep. Holzberger. Ewan Holzberger.
Yeah.
And you've got Connor McGrath.
In the back straight. And who have we got in the front straight?
You got Cameron Savage, Douglas Savage, Bo Hannah, and Simon Wallace.
Okay, back straight's ready, front straight's ready. They've got the clock going. Can't see either of the clocks from here. Here we go, getting around now. Douglas Savage standing up, Hanlon getting ready to launch. There he goes. Savage out of the blocks, McGrath out of the blocks. Okay. At the moment, it's pretty well. All McGrath put a bit of a gap up. So Savage by a fraction in the first half lap. See what they go around when they come around now. Savage has opened up a bit more of a gap there. It's only a metre or so in it, so it's still pretty tight. Let's see what Bo Hanlon can do now. And Newton coming around, McGregor coming around now. No, they've opened up a bit of a gap. Bo Hanlon's gained a little bit more lead. At the end of this lap, once he hands it over, we'll see what they're going like there now. Still got that bit of a gap in there. It's just under a second. Yeah, oh yes, open up a little bit more. They come around this time. Simon Wallace to go over the line. They'll take that out. And the gap is 2.33. So that's a pretty good ride by the team there. 53.790. Now we should have the two teams for the...
Yeah, Uni and Choice Homes. So we've got Glenn Searle, Paul Jackson and Chris Myatt on this side.
Glenn,
Searle,
Paul and Chris. On the back we've got...
Paul Jackson, yeah, and on the back I've got Chris Lang, Glenn Catherall, and Yarns.
Glenn, isn't it?
Glenn, G-L-Y-N-N,
Yeah.
Glenn, yeah, and Yarns Cowards, if I'm correct. We haven't fixed the scoreboard yet. Yeah, Glenn Searle, Chris Myatt, Paul Jackson, Lang, Cowards and Catherall. I'm not sure what order we're going in, though. Don't know whether your board tells you that.
I've got Paul Jackson starting down here.
Yeah, that's okay. Chris Myatt will go 3. Chris Searle 2.
And over the back. Looks like...
Lang's going to go first, is he? Oh no.
No.
Lang's second. I see that. Yarns will be third, I think.
Yeah.
And I reckon Glenn will go.
Okay, we've got both these teams ready now. Jackson getting ready to launch. Searle sitting there waiting over at the back. It looks like Glenn Cothrell to do the start over the back there. Yes, it is. Or is it Jans Coates starting? No, it is Glenn. Okay, so Jacko opened up a bit of a gap there. The Glenn wasn't quite on his wheels, so we see how he goes. So the Uni Club had a slight advantage going into it there now. Chris Lang putting in a big turn here. You could hear that bike pumping as he went past, but Uni Club's still got it up a little bit there now. Jans Kurtz has taken over from Lang, but Chris Myatt's bringing this home now. And, yeah, they've got this by quite a good margin. So Chris Myatt goes across the stops line in 50.784, so the gap is 3.57. So a fair sort of a gap there. But that was a good ride from the Uni Club. That's quite fast in the qualifying time, isn't it?
53.790. No, they did 51.317 in their qualifying.
Well, yeah, well, 50.7 is quicker than 51.
Oh, okay. I had 53. Sorry.
Well, 53
yeah.
where?
Yeah. No. I just had 50. Maybe it was 50.3, but I had 53 in my head.
50.784.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah, they did. They did go quick. Yeah.
Okay, now we've got other riders coming along now. This in the Masters events. So got Pete Macros in the gate. And then I'd say it's Adam Clark next rider up. Anthony Lane top rider. So only the one team there, so the boys are just riding, hopefully experience, practice. So Macros out of the blocks. Oh, Clark's still struggling to get on that wheel. And Clark's doing it all on his own. He can't get onto Macros's wheel at all. That's not how you ride a team sprint. Like I said, the back rider now is just the second rider is doing 2 laps. Not got any draft whatsoever. There they go. Clark will now turn it over to Anthony Lane to finish the event off.
Here we go.
They did 53,450 last time. They do this time.
So that's 53,859. Okay, moving right along now. We have a team that's not in the program. Looks like a Masters women's team. So it looks like we've got Mel Simon going into the starting blocks. Gabrielle Bells will be the next one on the rider up there. And Laurelie Moss will do the final lap. Well, they have ridden once. But it wasn't Laurelie. I think it was Julie. Oh, they come around that time there. Mel swings up, hands it over to Gabrielle. Going down to the back straight now. Laurelie Moss tucked nicely in on that wheel. Bell's coming through now to hand it over to Laurelie for the final lap. It's a 41.7 on that split for the kilometre. And let's see what time Laurelie stops the clock in. And it is a time of 58.659. both riders now getting their countdown. Harley Bradshaw starting on this side. Getting a good start there with Archie Lutz. Ethan Lee bringing up the rear. Oh. So we've got Aidan Parslow putting in the first lap for the other team. Very close right there at that crossover. He's taken over to Archie Lutz. Has gained a... Oh, no. No, I can't see the numbers. Yeah. So Ethan Lee's taking over the turn there. He's putting a bit of a gap in there. He's changing that up. And Harrison Darling's trying to keep that from happening. So I would say, we're going to get that very, very close. So we're going to go to the Hamilton Wheelers by 0.12 of a second. 0.12 of a second, which is about the width for tyre. So very close, but it does go to the Hamilton Wheelers Club. What did they ride then? 53.365. So that was a good effort by the Hamilton Club. They've actually improved on their qualifying time to take that one out. So practice run did them good. Who have we got over the back? Cruz Kemp's in the middle. Okay, so it looks like we've got Flynn starting in the front straight and Hunter Davis starting in the back straight. There we go, Flynn Jensen getting that bike moving out of the saddle. He's out of the saddle, pumping it hard, as is Hunter Davis bringing it in from the back straight. They're coming through now to get this. Slightly in the back over the front. Flynn Jensen had a slight gap on that, but they're dropping their back rider, so they've come over this time. Jensen crossed the line first. Winchester now has taken over the lead. They had the gap there on them. Cruz Kemps is coming around now trying to bring that gap down, but it hasn't come down. Oliver Jordan is now taken over the lead in that one. They had the fastest qualifying time, so looks like they will hold that. Bring McDonald trying hard to bring himself around now, but it's not going to do him any good. He's got to get a big gap on it. No, not a lot in that. So that's the front straight in the 51.505 and only 0.24 of a second in it. What they qualify? Mm. Well, that was much closer than what their qualifying times were. The winning team there from Flynn, Oscar and Oliver, slightly slower in their finals than what they were in their qualifying, and the combined team a little bit faster than what their qualifying time was, so it just brought the gap closer. Anyhow, great ride. Good to see him out there doing it. Who have we got now?
We have got the event 31. That's already
Okay, so moving on to event 31, which is the junior under 19 men's. Yeah. Junior under 19 men team sprint gold final. Yeah. So it looks like we have Keita in the starting block, ready to start this one up. Carl Bunzel above him and Rory Fisk at the top of the track. So we see how these riders go. Unfortunately, just the one team. And that's it for today, is it?
We've then got the elite women.
I mean, this page. This page is it?
Yes. After this, there's just 2 more events.
Now look at that. That's where it all goes wrong once again. These riders got to learn to talk to each other. Keita Smelly's put in a big gap there, but it's of no advantage to anybody. Carl Bunzel ends up doing 2 laps on his own. So I don't know who's explained to these people what a team sprint is. Anyhow, so Bunzel now hands over to Fisk. Didn't see the split on that, but the riders have to learn. I don't know why they don't talk about these things before they go out. And the second riders can see the gap. The front rider can't. The second rider can see the gap, so they can sing out. Okay, they went through at the time then of 51.622. 522, sorry. Yes, there was a big gap there, but they actually rode quicker than what they did at their qualifying round. The only team, so they were going to qualify first anyhow. So there we go. Now we're going to move on to the elite women team sprint gold final. Courtney, Sandra, and Julie. And over in the women, who have we got in the back row? Okay, next on the event we have the elite. Sorry, the women. Sorry, sprint gold final. Written in the wrong spot. So we've got Courtney McGowan starting off on this side. Sandra Stoy next up on her, and Julia Barnett above that. And over in the back straight, it looks like we have Madison Taylor riding second wheel this time. It could be Potts in the starting gate. And April Paddy up the top. No, same thing, she's going out too hard. Madison Taylor can't get onto the wheel. So that's 30. So April Paddy was the starting rider there. She's in front, but it doesn't make any difference because the time Madison Taylor's point half a second behind her. So that's where the disadvantage was there, because Madison Taylor's having to do 2 laps. She's trying to gain that back. She's bringing it back a little bit there. We'll see what happens here at the split at the 500. So Stoy's maintained the gap there. They've got the gap, so let's see if Julie can finish it off now. Is Isabella coming around now? No, they've lost too much gap. So you come now, Julie Barnett will go over and stop the clock there at 54.964. And the others were point.
Plus 56.444.
Well, that's not a plus.
No, it's not. It's 56.4.
Yeah.
Sorry. Normally they just have a plus there. The UQ ladies qualified at 55.726. So that was down quite a bit.
The UQ ladies, which is the back straight, was it?
UQ ladies with Julie Barnett, the one in front here. Front straight. Sanders
Oh, yeah. What they qualify in?
55.726. And the other ones are 57.299. So they both improved.
Well, that's very good, because both those teams rode quicker there than what they did in their final. The uni team rode 55.726 in their qualifying, and they rode a 54.964 there. So that's gaining a 0.7 of a second, which is quite a bit. And the team in the back straight rode a 56.444 in the final, and they rode a 57.299 in their qualifying. So they both gained about the same amount of time, which put them pretty much equal. So now we have 2 more teams ready to start. Pardon?
This is the last event.
Last event. How do you know that?
Because it says presentations after this and end of session.
We're here. We've got 2 teams. So
Oh, okay. I just saw Munro, Gallagher and Bryce there. Okay.
ooh. So we've got a second team out there that's not in the program, but that's all right. So Munro's getting away to a big start for that team over there. And we've got coming around there, we've got Crossman's Crossman. Crossman, Tipple and Savage. That's who it was. I couldn't get their names out. But anyhow, the other team's got the lead on them now. I can't quite see who's there. That's Tipple just leading through there now. And Gallagher's just handed over to Ronan here at the back straight. Or Fletcher, sorry. At the back straight. Front straight. Here we go. Zachary Douglas Savage coming around now. They're a little bit down. And it's just finished off there now. With, it was Sam Gallagher with the different helmet on. But that's all right. They rode a 46.835. The team in the back rode a 51. Something that disappeared off the screen before I got a chance to write it down. So we'll see what happens now. What time is it?
End of session.
What we do then? We do? Who's then? Yeah. Yeah, if I can ever find them, I don't know how to find these bloody things.
Oh, the results.
Oh, results. I'll leave you to it.
Yeah. I wonder where they'll start. Yeah, I haven't got a list of presentations. I've got the events, and I've got results in each event, but I don't have a list of how
Where do you find that even?
Okay, let's have a look. How did you? I'll show you how I did it. I went into Oz Cycling. Let's start from the top. So I circled Oz Cycling live results.
Have you got results?
No.
Okay,
Can't find them.
I'll grab results for you. Just one sec. Sorry. Just say we're just getting results now. If you say we're just getting results, presentations will be on shortly, and I'll find them for you.
Okay, we'll just find our results here somewhere in the cloud. They're going to be here. Presentations will start shortly.
No.
Pardon?
Cheeky. Okay. I will say, let's see. I'll cycle live results.
Yeah, I've went. Yeah, I've that.
Yeah, it
But-
is,
and I
but
have-
it's in a weird spot now because
Okay,
Neil's
because I've
put
got the
it.
list of events.
And if
There
you
you
go
go.
here,
Cycling
today,
track racing like it's
Yeah.
secret.
and then here
Yeah.
we've got down to the bottom, and you'll see which one are we going to do first. Oh, she's lined whoever those like kids are. Okay, team sprint gold final. In bronze. Okay. All right. So team sprint bronze. I'll call. Okay. So in bronze.
Okay. So in the team sprint,
Under 17.
under 17s in bronze position is
Balmoral cycling.
Balmoral Cycling Club, Maddie Douglas Savage, Isla Tompkinson and Elise Vaughan.
And then, sorry, I'm just going to get through here. Is in second place.
In second place, the Hamilton Bundaberg Club, which is Matilda Kemps, Georgia Dowling and Hannah Walters. And for the gold medal, we'll get there in a moment. I've got 4 riders there. How many riders you got there? You've got 3.
I've only got 3 listed, so they don't give me results.
Okay, so the riders there are Adele Dixon, Winter Bradshaw, Beau Morfitt, and the 4th rider is...
Winter didn't ride it.
Winter didn't ride the qualifying.
Glasses on. Winter didn't ride it, but she rode the final.
Okay, cool. Can you find it in that?
Yeah, can you? I haven't got my glasses on.
No, that's all right. I'll try and look at the. It'll be in that qualifying, won't
Yeah,
it?
well,
Yeah.
there'll be a line through Winter.
And there in Beau, Adele Dixon. Adele Dixon, Winter, Beau, and Hannah DiGiorio. The final.
The final rider in that team there was Hannah DiGiorgio. She rode the qualifying but didn't ride in the final. Winter rode the final.
Hello. Just one second.
They're not masters.
She can't do them out of order. We don't have. I don't know who this is.
Neither do I.
I don't know who she's pulling up. And this is the ridiculous thing. Who are these? Under 17s. Just 1 second. Under 17 men.
Yeah, because I can see Hunter Davis, Cruz.
Okay, so in third place. Oh no, that's women. She's pulling it out in the wrong order. Under 17s is Hamilton Wheelers.
Okay, in third place there from the under 17 men's sprint final is Jacob Cork, Harrison Dowling, and Aidan Parslow.
Okay, let me try again.
In second place,
It's the Regional Express.
it's the Regional Express. I can't see down
Oh, sorry.
there. It's the Regional Express team of Bryn McDonald, Hunter Davis, and Cruz Kemps. And taking out first place is the Balmoral Cycling Club team number 3, Flynn Jensen, Oliver Jordan, and Oscar Winchester.
Okay, I don't know who's going to get pulled up next. Sorry.
I can see women.
Yeah, but
They're on the front row.
but it's not elite women. And no, I don't have. I don't know who these ones are. This is Masters women, but there they are. I think that must be composite. That one there.
Okay.
Do you want to hold that, and I'll see if I can. Where's the music?
What, sorry?
Where's the music coming from?
Over there, as far as I know. And next up, we'll have the composite team for the Masters Women's Gold Medal. They are Gabrielle Bells, Mel Simon, and Laura Lee Moss. I was used to the old days when I used to have a printout.
I'm looking for who is this? Peter Smalley. I think that's elite. Is that elite men?
Well, I can see Keita Smalley there,
No. No, not.
and Rory Fisk.
I
Two
don't
of the
know, what
riders.
are they riding? They rode in under 19s.
Must have done.
Under 19 men. Yeah, that's it. That's theirs. Results. Under 19 men gold final from Balmoral.
And here we have the under 19 men gold final, representing the Balmoral Club. We have Akale Bunzel, Rory Fisk, and Keita Smalley.
And
Next is
we can't just go in order. Okay, who's sitting down next? That looks like a Masters. It's Masters.
that's Holmes,
That was the
Choice Holmes, Masters.
Not that one? No. Sorry, I'm gonna have to find a picture of all this. That one? No, I gotta go to bronze final first.
Well, I can see Jans Coates, Chris Lang,
Yeah, that must be the Masters.
and Conor McGregor.
Bronze.
Yep. Connor, what's his name? Bronze.
In
Yeah.
Balmoral. Yeah, because Balmoral will get up first, and then I'll have to swap it.
Okay, coming up to receive their bronze medal from the
And this is for Masters.
Balmoral Cycling Club, Cameron Douglas Savage, Bo Hanlon, and Simon Wallace. Pain, isn't it?
It's a little bit difficult. And then in second place.
In second place, from Choice Homes, we have Chris Lang, Glenn Catherall, and Jans Coates. And taking out the... I'll wait till he gets there. Wait for Aaron to catch up to me. No podium to stand on.
Oh, where's the podium?
Behind
No,
it.
it's behind them.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, there is a podium. Let's say, no, I'm pretty sure I saw it. Because we lined it up on the screen. Oh, I better go and get it here.
Okay, now then in first place and winners of the gold medal is the uni team of Glenn Searle, Paul Jackson and Chris Myatt.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is going to tell me Masters Open. Yep, that's right. We'll just get rid of that little conversation.
It's always rather funny how they must have prepared this beforehand for Chris Lang to have the same skin suit as the other two boys. Two Bundy boys.
Oh, the Choice Homes one.
Choice Homes.
Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Okay, now the Masters Men Open winners of the gold medal there from the Uni Club of Queensland: Anthony Lane, Peter Macris, and Adam Clark. Clarkie's not well either.
Well, they did well. Okay. And then you've got second in elite women. So this is elite women in second place.
Okay, now we're having the elite women up for theirs, and in second place from the Balmoral Cycling Club is Isabella Potts, April Paddy, and Madison Taylor.
Oh my goodness, what are those kids doing?
And winners of the gold medal and champions of Queensland, in first place, Courtney McGowan, Sandra Stoy, and Julie Barnett.
Okay, next one is going to be here. Elite men. Oh, okay, elite men. This is the elite men, and in second place for that next one.
Oh yeah, that's I can see sitting down there.
Yeah.
See everything, I can't see. I've got double vision this way,
Yeah.
and everything's blurred. And if I look across the other side of the tag, everything's just a blur. I can't make anything out. It's worse when you're driving a car.
It would be very bad.
If I look left, I've got to close one eye.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's just that bad. I can't see. Just not focused properly. I can tell if there's something there, but just I can see two of them. Now we're waiting for our elite men gold final ride-off, and in second place from Balmoral, representing the Balmoral Club, Zachary Douglas Savage, Cameron Tipple, and Felix Crossman.
Slow it down, and you've got that.
I got that one that time. And winners of the gold medal, Ronan Munro, Sam Gallagher, and Bryson Fletcher. And they're all from Heed Performance. And that's it for today.
Let them do their thing, and once it finishes and they clap, we'll do a farewell and say thanks for listening and the live stream today.
Well, these guys have got the podium to stand on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that concludes today's proceedings. Bikes have been raced, people have won, people have been disappointed, but at the end of the day, it's been a pretty good day. No injuries, no ambulances, that's always a good thing. And once again, thanks to all the volunteers who come along here and got their time to help these events run. And I'll be closing off now, and luck. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning to continue with the event. So those of you who are here, have a safe